A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Chesterfield brings you Dragnet.
Put a smile in your smoking.
Buy Chesterfield. Smoother, cooler, best for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. You get a telephone call from a woman who wants to see you. She says it's about her husband. She's afraid he's going to pull a holdup. Your job? Check it out. Listen. Listen to news of an electronic miracle. The greatest improvement in cigarette making in 30 years. It's the Accuray, and it's a Chesterfield exclusive. To you, it means cooler smoking, smoother smoking than was ever possible before. The Accuray electronically checks and controls the making of your Chesterfield. So, for the first time, you get a perfect smoke column from end to end. You'll marvel at the extra flavor that comes through. Yet because this measurably better cigarette smokes more slowly, you enjoy a cool mildness never possible before. Yes, from the first puff to the last, your Chesterfield smokes smoother. Your Chesterfield smokes cooler. Chesterfield is best for you. Today, discover what modern science can do to increase your cigarette enjoyment. Change to Chesterfield and put a smile in your smoking. Look for the new Chesterfield carton. It tells you only Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, May 18th. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way into the office, and it was 7:49 a.m. when I got to room 27A. Robbery.
Morning, Joe.
Hi, Bob. Well?
Well, what?
Good morning, Frank.
Oh, hi.
What's eating you?
Nothing.
Are you mad about something?
What would I be mad about?
I don't know, but you didn't say good morning.
I'm just not going over there anymore, that's all.
Over where?
The Talbots.
Who?
The Talbots, live down the street, sells real estate.
Oh, yeah.
We bought our house from him.
I see.
We got to be friends. At least his wife and Faye are friends. I never cared for him much myself.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
Hmm?
Between you and him, did you have a fight?
I don't fight with people, Joe. You know that.
Oh, that's right.
I just found him out, that's all. Just found him out, the kind of a guy he really is.
Is that right?
Yeah. They use signals.
What?
Signals, him and his wife. Can you imagine that? They use them.
What kind of signals?
Different ones for different words.
Well, what do you mean?
When they play charades.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad.
Had us over their place last night. Some other couples, too. About 8 or 10 of us and all. Yeah, 10. 5 on each side.
Each side.
Yeah, for the charade game. You played it, haven't you?
Yeah, when I was about 10 years old, we used to play.
Well, now, look, buddy, it's no kid's game. Not the way they play it.
Is that right?
No, they give you stuff to act out. Titles and quotations. You've never even heard of half of them.
Mm-hmm.
And to top it off, they got signals.
Yeah.
Noun, verb, little word, big word, person's name, letters of the alphabet. They got signals for all of them. You can spell something out. What's the point of the game?
Well, beat you pretty bad, didn't they? Huh? Last night in the game, you lost.
That hasn't got anything to do with it, Joe.
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter who wins or loses. It's the principle of the thing.
That's all it is.
Signals.
Yeah, I get it.
And they use them.
Robbery Friday. Yes, ma'am. Well, I don't know. What seems to be the trouble? I see. Yes, I guess we could. Where is that? Are they open this early? All right. Yes, ma'am, we'll be there. Goodbye. Lady wants to talk to us. Says she'll meet us at a bar out on Melrose.
What's it all about?
Her husband.
Yeah.
He bought a gun. Frank and I drove over to a small bar on the corner of Melrose and 8th. It was 8:23 a.m. when we got there.
Morning, gents.
Morning.
Well,
What'll it be, a little eye opener?
just coffee.
How about you?
I'll have a cup, too, please.
No, the plate isn't ready yet. I just finished putting it on.
That's all right. We're in no hurry.
There's a cafe right around the corner. They're open now.
Well, we'll wait.
Suit yourself. I guess you guys aren't like me.
How's that?
When I want my morning coffee, I want it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know I'm awake until after I've had a couple of cups.
Mm-hmm. It's all right if we take a booth?
Sure. First one's all cleaned up. I haven't had time to get to the others yet.
All right. Thank you.
Looks like you got here first. Huh?
Yeah.
Did she give you a name? Did she tell you her name?
No. No, said she didn't want to talk over the phone.
Oh. Joe.
Well.
Hi, Sally.
Hi. Give me a shot, will you?
Sure. Scotch?
Yeah, water back.
Okay.
Go ahead, mister. Take a good look.
I was waiting for somebody. I guess I made a mistake.
Yeah, you sure did.
I'm sorry.
A little later on I might be interested, but not at 8:30 a.m. Getting worse all the time, ain't it? Gal can't even have a morning pick-me-up without some guy starting to move in on her. Well, here's looking at you, Mike.
Down a hatch.
Put on a tab.
Yeah, sure.
See you around.
Hey, your coffee's about ready.
All right, thank you.
Want cream and sugar?
No, black.
How about you?
Same.
Coming up. Don't pay no attention to Sally.
Yeah?
She must have got out on the wrong side of the bed today.
Mm-hmm.
Usually she's real friendly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just don't take it personal, huh?
That's all right. Forget it.
Too bad you guys came in so early. Long toward evening, we get a lot of action here.
We're meeting somebody.
Okay. Just telling you, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Whew. Yeah, boy, that's hot, all right.
I think I burnt my tongue.
That's too bad.
Tomcat Bar, Mike speaking. Who? Well, I don't know. Yeah? Yeah, okay, sure. Hey, one of you guys got a name sound something like Friday?
That's right.
Well, you're being stood up.
Huh?
She said to tell you not to wait.
Frank and I left the Tomcat Bar and we went back to the office. 10:17 a.m. An informant called with a tip about a grocery store holdup that had taken place the previous Monday. We interrogated a possible suspect, but his alibi checked out. The next day, Thursday, May 18th, 9:43 a.m.
Again. Robbery, Smith. Who? Oh, yeah, Smith. Joe, it's for you.
Okay. Friday. Yeah? Yeah, I remember. Well, we were there. Well, why don't you give me your name this time? No, I'm sorry. We'll have to have your name. Flint? F-L-I-N-T? All right, now look, Miss Flint, if this is some kind of a gag... All right, if you're sure this time. Right. All right. Goodbye. The woman again. Woman who called yesterday morning?
Oh, yeah. What you want now?
Same thing. Meet us at the bar.
You think she's on the level?
I don't know. It sounds like it this time.
Why didn't she show up yesterday, then?
Says she tried, but she just couldn't.
Why not?
Said something about loving her husband.
Yeah.
When the chips were down, she couldn't bring herself to turn him into us.
Yeah, but she will now, huh?
Says she has to. She can't wait any longer.
Why?
Says it might be too late. 10:16 a.m. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the bar. When we got there was only one customer in the place, a small, dark-haired woman sitting in the corner booth.
Hi.
How are you today?
What'll it be, coffee again?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want?
Well, we'll let you know. That woman over there in the corner,
Yeah?
do you know who she is?
Don't think she's been in before.
All right, thank you.
Say, that reminds me.
Yeah?
Sally was around last night. I asked her about you.
Yeah.
Guess she had a change of heart. She's a pretty good kid.
Yeah. Miss Flynn? Are you Miss Flynn?
Yes.
Well, my name's Friday. This is my partner, Frank Smith.
Can we sit down, man?
I guess so.
You guys want your coffee over there?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
How about the lady?
Would you like something, ma'am?
I'd like a drink.
All right.
I'm going to need it.
What'll it be?
Oh, I don't care. Bourbon, I guess. Bourbon and ginger ale.
Lady wants a bourbon and ginger ale.
All right.
Does he know?
Ma'am?
The bartender, does he know you're cops?
No, I don't think so. We haven't told him.
Well, if anybody finds out I talked to you, if Rod ever finds out, well, I guess that just about washes up.
Rod's your husband, is that right?
Yeah.
Rodney Flint. Well, is that his name?
Well, not really. Not his real name.
Well, what is it then?
I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He'd never understand. He'd say I was double-crossing him. Maybe I am. Maybe I...
Here you are. 2 coffees and bourbon and ginger.
Well, what do we owe you?
That's $1 even.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
4 years I've been thinking about it, living with it. 4 years I've been trying to make up my mind whether I should go to the police or not.
Yes, ma'am.
But things seem to be working out. He was doing so well, making good money. He's changed, too, honest he has.
Well, now suppose you give us the whole story.
You married, Sergeant?
No, ma'am.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm married.
Well, tell me something, mister, and you tell me the truth.
What's that?
Suppose your wife got you in trouble. Suppose she squealed on you. What would you think of her?
Well, I guess it would depend on why she did it.
Oh, I've got a reason. Best reason in the world. I'm in love with him.
Yes, ma'am.
If I wasn't, I'd just walk out. If I didn't love him, I'd have walked out years ago.
Now, when you called us yesterday, you said your husband had bought a gun.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what he wants with it?
No, not for sure.
You got a pretty good idea, though, haven't you?
Has your husband ever done any time, Miss Flynn?
Yes.
What for?
He stole a car.
Anything else?
Robbery. Supermarket back east.
Whereabouts?
Michigan. He used to live in Detroit.
How much time did he do?
7 years.
Did he come out free?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm sorry. Afterwards, was he on parole? Did he have to report to a parole officer?
Oh, yes.
For how long?
It was supposed to be 10 years.
When did he get out of prison?
5 years ago.
When did you come to California?
About a year later.
Did he have permission to leave the state of Michigan?
No.
Well, what made him leave then?
He just came home one day and said he couldn't take it any longer. Said he was going to L.A. and that it was up to me whether I came with him or not.
Do you know if he's wanted for anything else beside violation of parole?
I don't think so.
You know, you still haven't told us his real name.
Frazee. Ralph Frazee.
All right, then it's Mrs. Frazee, huh? What about the gun?
Well, like I said, everything was going along pretty well. He's got a good job, and he's had 3 or 4 raises.
Where's he work?
Oil refinery. Pacific Crest Oil Company.
I see.
He likes the work. They like him, but the longer we live out here, the better things are. Well, that just makes him more scared.
Well, what's he scared of?
Oh, that somebody will find out who he really is, and that he'll have to go back to prison. If he just sees a cop, he goes all to pieces. He's sure they've finally caught up with him. Just a traffic cop, even.
Mm-hmm.
He gets worse all the time. Jumpy and nervous and, well, scared. That's the only word for it. He's been drinking a lot more, too, nearly every night.
Mm-hmm.
Then just last week he ran into a guy that used to be a friend of his.
Back in Detroit?
Yeah. This fellow knows all about him, that he's been in prison. And Rod's afraid... Ralph. I've called him Rod so long I keep forgetting that it isn't his real name.
Sure.
Anyway, he's afraid this guy will say something to somebody that'll all come out. It's just driving him crazy. So he bought a gun.
Did he say why?
He was pretty drunk night before last. That's when he brought it home. He mumbled something. If he was going to go back to prison anyway, he might as well make it worth their while.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's planning another robbery. I don't know. I don't really think he would. But with all this drinking and being so darned upset, well, I don't know what he might do.
Where's the gun now, Miss Frazee?
At home. He hid it in the stove in the pan under the broiler. At least that's where he put it last night after...
After what?
Well, you see, he was carrying on doing a lot of talking, and he was holding the gun at the same time, waving it around, telling me how easy it'd be to go out and rob somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Said that way he could get enough money for us to leave the country and go to Mexico, maybe, where they'd never find us. Right in the middle of everything, the pistol went off.
I see.
It was just an accident. He wasn't pointing at anything. The bullet only went into the ceiling. I'm sure he didn't mean to pull the trigger.
Yes, ma'am.
But when he heard the shot, he acted like he was going out of his mind. He was sure the neighbors had heard it, too, and that they'd report it to the police.
What'd he do then?
Well, he dug the bullet out of the ceiling and got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, he just waited. Now, that proves he's changed, doesn't it? That he really isn't a criminal anymore?
Well, how do you mean that?
Well, he didn't run away.
Yeah.
He stayed there all night long, waiting. And he didn't keep the gun. He put it in the oven. He didn't have it on him. So there wouldn't have been any trouble even if the police did come.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I kept praying that they would. Over and over, I prayed you'd come and find out who he is. He's got to go back to prison and finish out his sentence. I'm sure of that now. If he doesn't, I just don't know what'll happen to him.
What about you, Miss Frazee?
Me?
While he's in prison, what'll you do?
Oh, I can work. I did before. I'll manage.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Frazee, what time does your husband come home from work?
It's later and later since he started drinking. 9 o'clock, maybe even 10. He's never there for supper anymore.
Is there someplace else you can go this evening? Over to a neighbor's, maybe?
I suppose so. Why?
Well, it might be better if you weren't there when we pick him up.
But you can't. I mean, well, not so soon, not tonight. Does it have to be tonight?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
He'll know it was me, that I had something to do with it. He's bound to know.
We'll keep you out of it if we can.
What are you going to tell him? What kind of an excuse will you use?
Let's see what kind he has.
Smoking with a smile with Chesterfield. Smoother, cooler, milder Chesterfield. Put a smile in your smoking, just give them a try. Chesterfield's best for you. They satisfy.
When you shop, stop. Remember, vacation time is carton time. The cigarette to take with you is Chesterfield, made the modern way with Accuray. Take along a couple of cartons and put a smile in your smoking. Chesterfield. Smoother, cooler, best for you. Remember, in the whole wide world, no cigarette satisfies like Chesterfield.
Put a smile in your smoking, just give them a try. Chesterfield's best for you. They satisfy.
Frank and I continued to talk to Mrs. Frazee. She agreed to be out of the house during the evening. She also gave us a description of her husband. She said he was WMA, 38 years old, 5'11", and he weighed about 170. She told us he had black hair, brown eyes, and a dark complexion. 11:27 a.m., we went back to the office. We ran the names Rodney Flint and Ralph Frazee through R&I. They had nothing on Flint. Under Frazee, we found a warrant from the state of Michigan for a violation of parole. The dates given on the warrant checked with what Mrs. Frazee had told us. We contacted the Pacific Crest Oil Refinery, and without stating that we were from the police department, we learned that a man named Rodney Flint had been employed there for the last 3 years. They said he was a steady, dependable worker. 6:32 p.m., we drove out to the address Mrs. Frazee had given us. It was a modest one-story home just off Santa Monica Boulevard. We parked across the street and waited for Frazee to return from work. 7:05 p.m., we saw Mrs. Frazee go into a neighbor's home 3 doors west. Frank and I continued to wait. 8:46 p.m.
Joe, across the street.
Yeah, he's turned into the driveway. Let's give him a minute, let him get inside.
All right.
No, the lights are on now. Let's go.
All right. I don't see the bell.
Over there.
Oh, yeah. coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
We'd like to talk to you for a minute.
What about?
We're police officers.
What?
Police. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
I didn't send for no cops.
It's all right if we come in?
What do you want?
Just want to talk to you, that's all.
No, you do your talking out here.
Be easier if we were inside.
I ain't got all night.
Neither have we. This won't take very long.
Yeah, okay, come on.
All right, stand right
Hey,
there.
what?
Stand still.
What is all this?
He's clean, Joe.
What's your name? Come on, give us your name.
Flint.
First name, too.
Rodney.
You alone?
Yeah?
You live alone?
Our wife's out. She left me a note. Said she's going over the neighbors babysit for.
Mm-hmm. Were you home last night?
Yeah, I was home.
All night?
From about 10 o'clock on.
Did you hear a gun go off?
What?
A gun. Did you hear one go off?
Of course not.
Well, somebody did, and they reported it. Said it sounded like it came from this house.
Last night, she said.
That's right, Flint.
Oh, boy, what a police force. You cops ought to be real proud of yourself.
Yeah?
That's all you got to do, check up on some characters, been hearing things.
There wasn't any shot, huh?
Well, I didn't hear it.
I see.
Kind of late to be asking, ain't it?
We just got around to it.
Took a whole day, huh? Suppose you need a cop. What are you supposed to do, make an appointment ahead of time?
Are you sure about this, huh, Flint?
About what?
You didn't hear any gunfire.
I didn't hear nothing. There's a lot of traffic down the boulevard. Maybe a car was backfiring. Maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Do you own a gun?
Uh-uh.
You sure about that?
Well, I'd know if I had a gun, wouldn't I?
Is it all right if we look around?
What for?
Want to give your place a once-over?
No, it's not okay.
Oh?
I ain't gonna have you busting in here. Now, come on, go on, beat it, huh?
We can get a search warrant and come back.
Now, you listen to me, and you listen good,
Yeah.
huh? This isn't Skid Row, mister. This is my home. I own it. And you're not messing around a Main Street bum, either. I got a good job for a big company. They pay a lot of taxes in this town. They pay a lot of your salary.
Yeah.
My boss is a pretty important guy. He's got friends. So now you just take your little badges and move on.
All right, Flint, if that's the way you want it.
That's the way I want it.
Just give us one more thing. What are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anything, you guys especially.
You're sure not very anxious for us to look around. There must be a reason for that. Well?
Okay. Go ahead and search. It's no skin off of my nose.
All right, thanks.
Fat chance you'd have a finding something even if it was here. Dumb cops, it took you a whole day to get here, a whole day to answer one lousy crackpot call.
Well, don't forget.
Yeah?
It got answered. Frank and I began a routine search of the house. While Frank went through the 2 bedrooms, I took the living room and dining area. We found nothing suspicious. 9:42 p.m. We'd finished with the front part of the home, and we went into the kitchen. The suspect followed us.
Okay, if I fix myself a drink while you're messing the joint up?
It's up to you.
You guys want one?
What?
A blast. You want one?
No, thanks.
What about you?
No, thanks.
You don't drink, huh? You're not hurting my feelings.
I'll check the service ports, Joe.
All right.
You know, my wife's going to raise Cain when she sees what you guys have done to the house.
We're being as careful as we can, Flint.
Yeah, sure. Well, now, come on. How about winding it up, huh?
Just a couple of minutes.
Well, you boys really believe in wasting time, don't you? What do they do? Pay you by the hour?
There's nothing out there, Joe.
All right. I guess that takes care of it.
Yeah.
All right, come on. I'll be glad to show you to the door.
We'll find our way. Just a minute. Did you check the stove?
Huh?
The stove.
No, I thought you did.
All right.
All right, now what?
We forgot something.
Yeah?
Well, it looks empty.
What's with you? You think I'm cooking a gun?
Yeah, it's okay, Joe.
All right.
As soon as I get this pan back.
Hey, watch it there.
Grab him, Joe.
Wait a minute, Flint. You're not going anywhere.
Look, I don't know what this is all about. I never saw that gun before in my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it got.
Well, let's talk about it downtown.
Huh?
Come on.
Look, wait a minute now. You can't haul me in like this. What have I done? You got to have a charge. I know the law. You got to charge me with something. You won't find anything.
We found a gun. We drove the suspect down to the city hall, rolled his prints, and booked him in on suspicion of robbery. 11:06 p.m. We brought him into the squad room for questioning.
All right. Sit down over there.
What kind of a frame is this? Come on, how about letting me in on it, huh? Who'd I rob?
You can forget about our robbery charge. I guess we made a mistake.
Well, that's what I've been telling you, you know.
We had to check the gun. We had to be sure.
All right, so now you know.
Yeah.
Okay, no hard feelings.
Sit down, Tracy.
What?
You heard me. Sit down. Maybe we were wrong about the robbery charge, but we came up with something else. A warrant from Michigan, violation of parole. What about it, Fraser? Well,
what do you want to know? You've got it, the whole story.
Why'd you leave Michigan? Why'd you jump parole?
Oh, what difference does it make?
Suppose you tell us about it.
I didn't have no choice.
Yeah?
I used to play around with some pretty rough boys. I got out of the joint. They're still in Detroit. Looked me up. You guys will think I'm conning you, but... Well, look, I wanted to go straight. They had different ideas.
Yeah?
So we came out here, Dorothy and me. She's my wife.
I see.
Well, you can check on me. I've been clean ever since. Ask the company. Talk to anybody about me. They'll tell you I'm clean.
Yeah.
That going to help back in Michigan?
No, that's not up to us.
Sure. I thought that was why they sent you to jail, so you'd learn something. So when you come out, you won't do it again.
That's part of it.
Well, I learned. What good did it do me?
Maybe you didn't learn enough.
Huh?
There's a law against an ex-convict having a gun.
Oh, you're going to stick me with that one, too, huh?
That's not up to us either.
Lousy gun. If it hadn't been for that gun, you'd never found me.
Well, it might have taken a little longer, that's all.
Sure, that's what did it. I don't know why it went off the other night. I thought the safety was on, just my luck. I never had a decent break in my whole life, not one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there any more you guys want?
No, I guess not. Not now, anyway.
It's all right if I call my wife.
Yeah, we'll fix it for you.
Wonder how she's going to take it.
I don't know.
I guess she'll stick by me. She always has. Through all the rotten breaks, no matter what. Yeah, she'll stick.
Well, you must have had one good break then, huh?
Huh?
When you married her.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On Thursday, May 25th, the meeting was held in the district attorney's office in and for the county of Los Angeles, state of California. In a moment, the results of that meeting.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Veneman. Friends, discover for yourself what modern science can do to increase your cigarette enjoyment. Remember, Accuray puts a smile in your smoking. Enjoy a smoothness and coolness never possible before. Chesterfield, best for you.
In the interest of justice, and because of the suspect's good behavior record in Los Angeles, it was decided not to press charges against him for possessing a gun. Ralph Putnam Frazee, alias Rodney Flint, was turned over to Michigan authorities to serve out his previous sentence. He has since been released and has returned to his former employment in Los Angeles. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Stacey Harris, Herb Ellis, Vivi Janis. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
This is it, L&M Filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor.
L&M's got everything.
It's the best.
Yes, L&M's got everything. Superior taste, superior tobaccos, superior filter. It's the miracle tip, pure and white. Buy L&M, America's best filter tip cigarette.
Hear Dragnet next week, same time, same station.
Tonight, hear a special broadcast, The Atom, Menace and Promise, on most NBC radio stations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A night watchman has been stabbed to death in a downtown appliance store. There's no apparent motive for the killing. No lead to the suspect. Your job, find him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, August 8th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. We were on the way out from the office, and it was 8:26 a.m. when we got to the corner of 7th and Ducommun Streets. Bentley Appliance Company.
Sure, a big place, huh?
Yeah.
There's somebody coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you want?
Police officers.
Oh, yeah, just a minute. Come on in.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I guess it'd be a good idea if I locked the door again, huh?
If you'd like to, yes, sir.
Good idea. There, now, it's all secure. My name's Ralph Bentley. I'm the one who put in the call.
This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How you do?
How you do, sir?
Where's the body?
Oh, back here in the stockroom.
Who found him, Mr. Bentley?
Our building superintendent, Curtis Holman.
Is he here now?
Yeah, he's upstairs.
All right.
I suppose you'll want to talk to him.
Yes, we will.
Oh, I'll get it.
Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Oh, over here. It's behind these packing cases.
Uh-huh.
Well, you can see there he was stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sure a mess, isn't it?
Yeah. What's his name? Mr. Bentley? The victim's name?
Oh, Clyde Maddock.
M-A-T-I-C-K?
I-K, no C.
Mm-hmm. What time was the body discovered?
It must have been about 7:30. That's when Holman comes to work.
Did he find it right away?
I don't know. I haven't been able to get him to say much. When I came in, he was just standing here looking at the body. He was kind of numb, you know.
Mm-hmm. What time did you get here?
Must have been about 7:45. That's when I called you, wasn't it?
Yes, sir, about that time.
Yeah, that's when it was, at 7:45.
How long has this Maddock worked for you?
Oh, 3 years. Almost 4.
Has anything in here been disturbed?
Not that I know of. I don't think Holman touched anything. I couldn't talk to him very much, but I'm pretty sure he knows enough to leave things alone. Oh, I sure can't understand it.
What's that?
Well, take a look around. It doesn't look like there's a fight. Does it look like it to you?
No.
Well, that's it.
What do you mean?
Well, it stands to reason it was somebody he knew, some stranger. There'd be signs. He wouldn't just let somebody come up and stab him in the back, now, would he?
Doesn't seem likely, does it?
Well, in the 3 years he's been with us, I've never heard anyone say an unkind thing about Maddock. Not one. Man didn't have an enemy in the world.
Well, that doesn't mean much.
One
of his friends didn't like him then. "8:30 a.m. We put in a call to the crime lab and asked them to come out and go over the scene. The manager led us upstairs to the main offices, and we met the building superintendent, Curtis Holman. He was a small man in his early 50s.
I don't care how it looks, Mr. Friday. I didn't do it. You got to believe that. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Now, nobody says you did, Holman. The officers just want to ask you some questions.
Well, I don't want them to think I killed him. I don't want them to think that.
What time did you find the body?
I guess it must have been around 7:30, someplace around in there.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I just come in, locked the door after me, and then I was going to come up here and change my clothes.
Yeah?
I got my own closet down there in the hall. My own closet.
Yes, sir.
I was coming back, going upstairs, and I saw him just laying there. Right away, I knew he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to have nobody tell me that. I knew he was dead.
What'd you do?
Nothing. Couldn't.
What's that?
Couldn't do nothing. First time I ever saw a dead man. I don't know. I guess just stood there and looked. First time.
Yeah, that's where he was when I came in.
Yeah, I was just there. You see, I didn't kill him. Wasn't me. Somebody did it, but wasn't me.
All right, Holman, all right.
Well, we was friends, Clyde and me. Friends.
I guess I should have told you he doesn't mean any harm.
We understand.
Played cribbage once in a while in the morning. Me and Clyde played cribbage.
Was there anybody else in the store when you got here, Holman?
Huh? You talking to me?
Yes, sir. Did you see anybody else in the place when you got here?
No, just me and Clyde. Only he was dead.
How'd you get in?
Got a key. See, right here. My own key.
How many keys are there, Mr. Bentley?
Oh, it's 3 out. I got one, Holman has one, Maddock had the other one.
Mm-hmm. Have you contacted his family?
Hasn't got one. As far as we know, he hasn't got any people.
You can give us his address, though, can't you?
Oh, sure, no trouble at all. He lives upstairs.
What?
Part of the deal we worked out when he started. A little room on the 3rd floor. He gets that and a salary.
Real nice way he fixed it up. All painted bookshelves, a lot of books. All over the place, books.
Wonder if we could see it.
Certainly.
You like it. Real nice room. Nicer than mine. Wish I had it.
We can go down this way.
Want me to go up with you?
Yes, sir, if you'd like to.
Sure. I like Clyde's room.
It'd be faster if we take the stairs.
All
right. Here we are. All right, go ahead.
Thank you.
I guess Clyde had about every book printed. Grade 1 for reading.
That so?
Oh, yeah. All time had his face in the book. All time reading.
Uh-huh.
Smart. Knew all kinds of things. Just asked Clyde a question and he knew the answer. I was all time telling him he should go on the quiz shows. He'd won them all. Knew the names of all the presidents, when they was elected, all about them.
Is that right?
It's right down this way.
All right.
I used to sit there and look through the books. Didn't make much sense to me, but Clyde sure liked them.
All right, Holman. I'm sure the officers know what you mean.
I'm just trying to tell them, that's all. Tell them about Clyde.
Sure. Oh, this is it. Oh, it's locked.
You have a key?
No, I don't.
I got one. Got it on the ring. You want me to open the door?
If you would, yeah.
Sure thing. Glad to help you. Find the right one now.
Here, you drop this.
Why do you have a key to the room?
Clyde gave it to me. Said it was all right for me to have it in case I wanted to clean up. He let me do that. Clean up.
All right. Well, do you have the key?
Yeah. Here it is. There you are.
Hey. Sure looks like there was a party in here.
Yeah.
Certainly didn't have any idea things like this went on. Oh, just look at this room. Beer bottles all over the place, glasses, empty bottle. This place is filthy.
I was going to clean it up, Mr. Bentley. Honest, I was. Right after I finished with the rest of the building, I was going to clean it up.
Gee. 14 beer bottles, all of them empty. Boy, I don't see how a man could drink that much beer.
Looks like he had some help, though.
Huh?
What do you got?
Take a look at these glasses.
Yeah.
Lipstick.
Don't touch them.
I'm sorry. Boy, that really does it. That's the capper.
Sir?
Oh, when he took the job, I made it perfectly clear. No mistake about it, none at all.
What do you mean?
Beer drinking, I don't mind. He's got that right. But I told him there wasn't supposed to be any women up here.
No.
He knew it. Doesn't look good. Place of business just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I told him if he broke the rule once, just once, he'd be sorry about it. That's what I told him.
He's got no quarrel about it now.
Huh?
He's sorry. The crime lab arrived and started to go over the room. After photographs had been taken, the body was removed to the county morgue. Apparently, the victim had died of internal hemorrhage caused by 3 deep stab wounds in the back. He'd been dead about 36 hours. From questioning the other employees of the store, we were able to find out a little about the victim's background. All of them knew him as a quiet man who kept pretty much to himself. We asked about the women friends. They couldn't help us there either. The questioning continued.
As far as I know, there wasn't anybody.
You ever mention any friends to you?
No, we didn't talk much. I didn't see him a lot. You know, he'd be in the halls or something like that, but we didn't talk much.
Is there anything more you can tell us that might help?
I don't think so. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you very much.
Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, sure getting us nowhere, huh?
Yeah. Let's have the next one, huh?
All right. You come in now, Miss Lask?
Yes.
It's Cora Lask, is that right?
That's right.
My name's Smith. This is Sergeant Friday.
I do.
How are you? Like to sit down?
Thank you. Guess it's about Mr. Maddock, huh?
That's right.
Awful thing to have happen. I work in the office, almost right under his room. Kind of gives me the creeps to think about it. A little creepy.
Did you know him very well?
Yeah, I guess you could say I did. I went to lunch with him a couple of times, even had a couple of dates. Not flower-type dates, though.
How's that?
He didn't bring flowers.
Oh, I see.
We met after work and went to dinner, nothing serious.
Mm-hmm. Do you know any of his other friends?
Oh, just about everybody in the place. Wasn't anybody that wasn't friends with Mr. Maddox. Everybody liked him.
Is there anybody special?
You mean like a girlfriend?
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe it was Bessie.
Who's that, miss?
Bessie Rowan. Her and Mr. Maddox were pretty friendly. You ask me, I'd say might even have been serious.
Mm-hmm. She work here?
Yeah, stockroom clerk, head of the department.
Oh, I see.
Pretty important job. Got charge of all the ordering.
Yeah. You ever been in Mr. Maddox's room?
I know you're just trying to do what you think is right, Mr. Friday. But I don't like what you're getting at.
No offense, Miss Lass. Just a routine question.
Oh, the answer's no. I told you. I just went out with him a couple of times, that's all.
Oh, I see.
You remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Miss Rowan here this morning?
No, she isn't. It's a funny thing, too.
What do you mean?
It's not like her to miss a day's work. Long as I've been here, she never done it before. Always here, always on time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so funny. She called this morning and said she wouldn't be able to make it.
Did she say why?
Not really. Kind of talked around it, you know. Matter of fact, I didn't think she had a real reason for not coming in.
How was that?
The way she acted. Say, you don't think it had anything to do with Mr. Maddox, do you?
I wouldn't know.
I bet that's it. She knows something. That's why she's not coming in. That's the reason.
It's possible.
More than that, she knows something. I'll bet you on it. Bet you anything.
No, I wouldn't be too fair.
Huh?
We'd like to see you win. We checked all of the employees of the store through R&I. Except for 2 drunk arrests for the janitor, Curtis Hallman, there was no record on any of them. We tried to contact Bessie Rowan at her home, but she wasn't there. The neighbors were unable to tell us anything that might aid us in finding her. We asked them to notify us in the event she returned. At 12:46 p.m., an unidentified woman called the Bentley Appliance Company and asked for the victim. She was told that he was out and was asked to leave a phone number where she could be contacted. Frank and I checked with the phone company and found that the number was assigned to a public phone booth in a downtown department store. We drove over to the place and talked with one of the clerks.
Yes, it seems to me there was a woman by the phone booth.
Can you give us a description of her?
Not a very good one, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything you can tell us might help.
Hey, there is one thing, though.
What's that?
Might not mean anything.
Well, what is it, ma'am?
Her hair.
Yeah?
Real red. About the brightest red I've ever seen. Had to come from a bottle. Never saw any natural hair that color.
All right.
Does that help you any?
Well, we don't know yet.
I didn't think it would. Just something you remember. Something kind of outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of it. Figured it might be a way for you to remember if it's the one you're looking for.
Well, if it is, we've got another way. 4:35 p.m. Frank and I went back to the city hall and checked into the office. There was a note in the book for us to get in touch with Sergeant J. Allen at the crime lab. He just finished his preliminary examination of physical evidence and wanted to go over his findings with us.
Back here, Joe. Frank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how'd you do?
Not bad. Here, take a look.
Yeah?
These are the beer bottles we found in the room, 14 of them. They're clean. Able to lift 3 good prints from one of the glasses, though.
Enough for identification?
You come up with a finger.
Not enough for classification, though.
No.
Anything else?
I went over the room with a vacuum cleaner. Found this in the couch.
Earring.
Yeah. Imitation stone, mounting's gold filled. Nothing else on it.
Mm-hmm. Any way of checking where it was bought, Jay?
It'll be pretty hard. Costume jewelry, a lot of places make it. Even more than that seller.
Yeah.
Found this handkerchief on the floor under the couch.
No monogram. Any laundry marks?
No. Went over it with ultraviolet. There's nothing there.
Is that it?
Well, lipstick marks on the glasses. We lifted them. Might be able to use them in identification.
Yeah.
You come up with a motive yet?
No. No, as near as we can tell, there wasn't anything stolen from the store. The victim had $36 in cash on him. Expensive watch, ring. None of it was touched. You got any more for us, Jay?
Well, couldn't find the murder weapon. Wasn't in the room. We checked the rest of the place. Couldn't turn it.
Any idea what it might have been, Jay?
A sharp instrument, probably a pocket knife, 3-inch blade. Oh, one more thing. Not sure about it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it. Take a look.
What do you got there?
Hair. Found them on the victim's jacket. No way of telling how long they'd been there.
Human?
Yeah. Whoever they belong to shouldn't be too hard to spot.
What do you mean?
Bright red.
We left the crime lab and drove over to the Bentley Appliance Company. We went up to the second floor and talked with the secretary again, Cora Lask.
Sure, I can give you a description of Bessie. No trouble at all.
Have you heard from her today?
Not since this morning. I told you about that. You know how she wouldn't be in.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
Now about the description. What color hair does she have?
It's a blonde color.
Dark or light?
Kind of in between. I guess that's the reason she fixes it up.
How do you mean?
Touch-up. Usually a sort of strawberry blonde, I guess you call it.
Uh-huh.
Last time she did it, I guess it was a week ago, she had an accident.
Well?
With the dye. She did something wrong. Sure looked funny.
How do you mean?
But it turned out wrong. Embarrassed her all over the place. Everybody was making cracks about it. She said she was going to redo it first chance she had.
Yeah.
I kind of laughed myself. It was pretty hard to imagine.
What's that?
That color red hair.
We returned to the office and filled out the reports. At 6:18 p.m., we got a call from one of the suspect's neighbors telling us that she'd returned home. We drove out to talk to her.
Yeah?
Bessie Rowan?
That's right. Who are you?
Police officer. I'd like to talk to you.
Well, I haven't got anything to say to you. It's not going to do me much good, though, is it, huh? Is it? You're going to take me down to the poke anyway, aren't you? Aren't you going to?
Might be better if we talk to you inside.
Oh, well, then. Come on in. Make no difference where we talk. Not a bit. You ain't going to believe me anyway.
About what?
That I didn't kill Clyde. You ain't going to believe me, are you?
Why don't you tell us?
All right, I will. What do you think of that, huh? What do you think of that?
You alone here?
No, I got 3 or 4 friends hiding in the closet. They usually don't come out this early, though. Wait until it gets dark. That's when they like it, when it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you want me to tell you now, huh? Do you?
About what?
About Clyde. How he's dead. You want me to?
Why don't you try?
No matter what I say, you're going to believe what you want to, so it'd probably be easier if I went along with you, wouldn't it, huh?
Might be.
Okay, then. I killed him.
6:23 p.m. We continued to talk to Bessie Rowan. Frank went out to the kitchen and made a pot of coffee. After we'd gotten several cups down, Miss Rowan, she sobered up and was able to answer our questions.
I didn't mean it. I wasn't feeling very good. I guess that's why I said it.
Did you see him Saturday night?
Yeah.
Where?
After work. Met him. We went to the place in the corner, had a couple of drinks, and then I came home.
Ever been in his room?
What, you mean at the company?
Yeah.
Guess it wouldn't do any good to lie about it. Yeah, I've been there.
When?
I don't know. I guess the last time was a week ago. Somewhere in there, I had a couple of drinks.
Mm-hmm. How'd you and Matty get along?
All right. We didn't set the world on fire.
How'd you know he was dead?
Heard it.
Where?
I'd rather not say, like somebody in trouble.
You got a good-sized piece of that right now. Why don't you tell us?
Friend of mine. I called this morning.
That's how you found out?
Yeah. I guess his friend wasn't supposed to say anything. As soon as she did, she told me not to say anything.
What time did you see Matt at last?
I guess it was about 7:30. Right after we came out of the bar, he walked me back to the parking lot, and I came home.
Anybody vouch for that?
No.
You can prove it then, though.
Maybe they changed the laws, huh?
What do you mean by that?
I always thought you had to prove I was guilty. They done away with that?
No.
Then start proving.
All right, get a coat and we'll go downtown.
You gonna book me?
We'll see.
Gotta make a charge, don't you?
If you want it that way.
Never mind. I'll get a jacket.
Where is it?
Bedroom closet.
You want to show me?
You don't trust anybody, do you?
Let's get the coat, lady.
That's the one.
Okay. Here you are.
The gentleman would hold it.
Yeah.
All set?
Yeah, I guess so. You turn off the coffee?
Yeah, I think so.
You better be sure. I'm not going to come home and have to clean a burned coffee pot.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Huh?
You might not be coming home. woman was taken downtown to the city hall. Her fingerprints were taken, and we checked her name and description through R&I once more, but we failed to come up with a record for her. 8:15 p.m. While I talked to her in the squad room, Frank went down the hall.
You're going to let me go home.
As soon as you tell us the truth.
I've told you everything I know. It's all you're going to get.
Joe.
Yeah.
Here it is.
What's that, the solution to the case?
It might be. It's a report from latent prints.
Yeah?
Your fingerprints match with the ones we found on some glasses in his room.
What does that mean?
You were in his room.
I've already admitted
You
that.
told us you weren't there Saturday.
So he's a sloppy housekeeper.
Now, we talked to the janitor. He cleaned the room Saturday morning. The glasses weren't there then.
How about it, Miss Rowan?
Make it easier if you give us a statement. Come on.
All right, I was there, but I didn't kill him, and that's the truth.
Go ahead.
After we left the bar, he asked me to come up and have a nightcap. I did.
Yeah?
We had some stuff to talk over.
What?
We wanted to get married. We talked about it before. There was something hanging him up. I don't know what it was. I told him we couldn't go on like that anymore. It had to be either one way or the other. Either we'd get married or else we'd call the whole thing off.
Yeah.
He asked for a couple of days. Said he'd clean up whatever the trouble was by then.
Yeah?
I told him to go ahead. That's all. Had a couple of drinks and then I left and I came straight home.
What time did you get there?
About 10. Maybe 10:30.
Why'd you lie to us?
I don't know. I was drunk. You saw that.
Yeah.
I got scared. Figured sure you'd think I did it.
Did Maddox have any other girlfriends?
I don't know. We didn't talk about it.
Did he mention anybody else?
Yeah, I guess. A couple of times he talked about some girl that was giving him trouble. Called him at work, on his back. Told me he was trying to get rid of her.
Possible she might have been the reason you couldn't get married?
Yeah, might be.
You know anything about her?
No, we didn't talk much about her. A couple of times he'd be hacked because she'd called the store, made a big scene. Said she was usually gassed. She was a real lush, the way he put it, drunk most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, though. She didn't go for hard booze.
Huh?
Just drank beer.
On the chance that the empty beer bottles we'd found in the victim's room had been bought in the neighborhood, we began an immediate canvass of the liquor stores in the area. We gave the dealers a description of Clyde Maddock, and we also asked if a woman had purchased 14 bottles of beer. In the first 5 stores, we drew a blank, but the clerk in the 6th told us that he had made such a sale on Saturday night to a woman. He was unable to tell us who she was, but he did say that he'd seen her several times in the neighborhood bars. We started to check them. Several bartenders knew the woman, but were unable to tell us her name or where we could find her. At 12:20, we stopped at a place called the Pink Pigeon.
Yeah, I know her. In here all the time. She's a beer drinker.
You know her name?
Let me think. Yeah, Gladys something. I don't think I ever heard the last part. Wouldn't make me unhappy if she didn't come back.
What do you mean?
Well, she's all the time tanked, loud, dirty mouth. Chick like that doesn't do the place any good.
You know where we can get in touch with her?
What's the matter? She done something?
We'd like to talk to her.
Well, sure. I didn't mean to stick my nose in where it don't belong.
That's all right. You know where we can find her?
I don't know. I guess her place would be as good as any.
Well, where's that?
Couple of blocks up. It's a brown house, second from the corner. You can't miss it. Just like her, a real mess. There's weeds all around. It's a brown house.
All right, thank you.
I'm glad to help out. I've been saying for a long time she was going to end up in real trouble. Been saying that for a long time. I've been telling everybody.
Uh-huh.
They didn't believe me.
Well, they will now. We left the bar and drove over to the house the bartender had described. There was a light on in the front room when we got there. The name on the mailbox read, Mrs. Clyde Maddock.
Yes?
You Miss Maddock?
That's right. Who are you?
Police officer.
Come on in. I've been expecting you. Wait a minute, I'll get a coat.
That's all right, I'll get it.
You kind of surprised me.
How's that?
I kind of figured you'd find me before this. Didn't think it'd take this long.
Did you kill him?
Yeah. He wanted a divorce. I wouldn't give it to him. Wanted to marry some floozy where he worked. He wouldn't give me a chance to work things out. I tried to convince him he was wrong. I told him if he tried to leave me, he'd be sorry. I tried to convince him. He wouldn't believe me.
Well, maybe he does now. Let's go.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 16th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Gladys Markham Maddock was tried and convicted of murder in the second degree and received punishment as prescribed by law. Murder in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned the Bunko fugitive detail. A man tells you he's been taken for a large sum of money. He thinks it was a swindle. Your job? Run it down.
The documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, September 12th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working a day watch out of Bunko Fugitive Detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Gideon. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from communications, and it was 2:17 p.m. when I got to room 38. Bunko Fugitive.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I get it. Bunko Fugitive Friday. Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm. Well, when did you see him last? Well, how much was it? How much? Mm-hmm. All right, sir. We'll be here. Well, right away if I were you. All right, fine. Fellow's coming in to talk to us.
Yeah?
Says he gave a friend of his $40,000.
Oh.
Kind of broke up their friendship.
What do you mean?
The guy skipped out. $2:42 p.m. The man who had telephoned came into the office. He told us that his name was Jeff Craner. He said he had a real estate business on Wilshire Boulevard and that his home residence was on Rossmore near Olympic. He also said that on the previous Tuesday he had given $40,000 to a man who called himself Philip Bonham.
You know where this fellow Bonham lives, Mr. Craner?
I know where he used to live.
Where's that?
Our apartment out in Westwood, real fancy, beams, ceilings, lots of glass, swimming pool, the whole works.
He's not there anymore, huh?
The manager of the building says he moved last Tuesday. The day I gave Phil the money.
Who's they?
Phil and his brother had the place together.
Uh-huh. What's the brother's name?
Steve.
Does the manager have any idea where they went?
Well, claims he didn't leave any forwarding address, just shoved off.
How long have you known the Bonhams, Mr. Craner?
6 or 8 weeks.
How'd you happen to meet up?
Through a friend, a mutual friend.
What would you tell us about it?
Well, it's not going to come out, is it? Newspapers, anything like that?
What do you mean?
Well, you see, I'm married.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't been getting along so well for the last year or so, but I'm still married.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way I met up with the Bonhams, you see, it was through a girl.
Yeah. What was her name?
Barbara Wist.
Who's she?
Oh, just a girl, that's all. Maybe she was in on it, too. I don't know. Anyway, she introduced me to him.
About how long have you known her?
The 3 months, maybe, a few weeks before I met them.
I see.
We got acquainted at an auction. One of those houses out on Beverly Boulevard where they sell off furniture and things from movie stars' houses.
Mm-hmm.
Used to spend a lot of my free evenings at those auctions. Wasn't any point in staying home, not my wife feeling towards me the way she does. I didn't buy much, just a piece every once in a while. It looked like a bargain.
Yeah, and that's where you met this woman, huh?
Yes.
Where was she living, do you know?
Had a room at a hotel in Hollywood, the Count George.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead, Mr. Craner. What happened next?
Well, we got to be pretty good friends, and
One night she offered to put me in touch with a couple of guys she knew who said they were interested in buying some real estate and that I might as well handle the deal. Well, that's how I met up with the Bonhams.
Yes, sir.
We went out to their apartment. They're having a little party. A couple more girls were there. On a Friday night, I guess we all got kind of loaded. Next thing I knew, we were all flying down to Vegas for the weekend. Well, we sure had quite a time for ourselves. Stopped at one of the best hotels, Chateau Lafayette. Everybody making a big fuss like the Bonhams were VIPs.
Yeah.
After that, we had some deals together. Most of them worked out. Whenever they didn't, the Bonhams took care of me anyhow.
What kind of deals? Mr. Craner?
I guess maybe they weren't, well, strictly ethical, but there wasn't anything illegal about it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to cut a couple of corners if you're going to get ahead in this world.
Is that right?
I get a little tired of this, Sergeant.
Sir?
You act like I'm at fault, like I'm the one who's in the wrong. Now, you remember it was me that got swindled in $40,000 worth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the criminal, you know. They are.
Sure.
You want to tell us about the $40,000, Mr. Craner?
If you're all through with these accusations.
Go ahead, Mr. Craner.
All right. It was last Tuesday. Phil Bonham called me at my office. Said he had to see me right away about a proposition, a really big one.
Mm-hmm.
We met for lunch. Bonham said they'd just had word from one of their contacts in Las Vegas. A couple of Eastern gamblers had tapped the casino of the Chateau Lafayette for $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Chateau needed some money, and they needed it fast. So the owners were willing to sell a 5% interest in the hotel for $100,000. Now, Phil said it was a cinch that we'd get our investment back inside of 6 months, and from then on, it was just gravy. Everybody knows how much those hotels in Las Vegas make.
So you gave him the money?
Yes, I drew it out of the bank that afternoon. Had to be in cash.
Did you know the denominations of the bill?
They're all hundreds.
Mm-hmm. What happened then?
I went back to the office, and the Bonhams took off for Las Vegas. At least that's what they were supposed to do. They said they'd call me from there. But when I still hadn't heard anything by Friday, I went over to their apartment and talked to the manager. He said they'd moved out Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Why didn't you get in touch with us then?
They didn't seem like crooks, not a bit.
What were they like?
Well, what?
Would you describe them for us?
Well, Philip's the oldest. He's about 45.
Mm-hmm.
Light hair, complexion.
How big is he?
Tall, about 6 foot man. Thin, sort of rangy.
What about his brother?
Oh, Steve's maybe 3 or 4 years younger. A little shorter, not much though. A little heavier.
What color is his hair?
Reddish kind.
The girl who introduced you to him, you said her name was Barbara Wist?
Yes, that's right.
How do you spell that?
W-I-S-T.
You want to describe her, too?
Well, it's pretty hard to say how old she is. I'm not very good at judging a woman's age.
Well, approximately, then.
Oh, 28, 29, 30, could even be 35.
Mm-hmm.
Blonde, real white streak across the front, very attractive. Good company, nice build. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried to get in touch with her since you saw the Bonhams last?
Yes, I called the hotel.
Well?
She moved out last Thursday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how are you supposed to know?
What?
Well, who to trust? They were so darn nice to me, the Bonhams and Barbara. There wasn't any way of figuring that what they were after. They, like you say, that they were just kind of setting me up.
Mm-hmm. But you had a tip-off.
Yes? Well, when?
When you thought you were getting something for nothing. 3:08 p.m. We ran the names Philip and Steve Bonham and Barbara Wist through R&I. They had nothing on them. We went back to the office and showed the victim mug shots of known confidence men. He was unable to identify any of the photographs. 3:32 p.m. We showed him mugs of confidence women.
No, not on that page, Sergeant.
Uh-huh.
Sergeant? My wife won't find out about all this, will she?
Not from us.
We haven't been getting along for quite a while, but, well, you know, she just wouldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, aren't they?
How's that?
Women, even if they won't have anything to do with you themselves, they just don't want another day moving in.
Want to go on to the next page?
Oh, yeah, sure. Say now.
Yeah?
That looks like her.
Well, is it?
No, I guess not. This Something different there. Sure is a resemblance, though.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on this page. Now, wait a minute. That was her.
Where?
Here, right here, the one I pointed out before.
Oh, I see.
That's Barbara, all right there.
You said there was something different about this woman, didn't you?
Well, there is, but now that I think about it, any gal's apt to do that.
Do what?
Dye his hair.
The victim was positive in his identification of the photograph. Frank and I pulled the woman's package. Her true name was Mabel Salton, WFA, 36 years old, 5 feet 4, weight 117 pounds, blue eyes, brunette hair. Her record showed 2 convictions for grand theft and an arrest for suspicion of theft the previous June. 4:15 p.m. We talked to Johnny DeBetta, the officer who had made the June arrest.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Van and I pulled her in. We couldn't make it stick, though.
Why not?
Well, the victim gave us an ident, but we didn't have enough to hold her on. All she did was introduce the mark to a couple of con men. They did the taking.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't prove that she was in on it. The sucker hadn't given her the money.
Yeah. Wouldn't cop out either.
She's a looker, not a talker. I'd rather tackle a guy any time than a dame like that. Once she decides to keep her mouth shut, you can't get it open with a pair of pliers.
What about the guy she was working with?
A couple of brothers. Don't remember the names they used offhand. It's in the file, so.
Got any leads to him?
Description, M.O. We put out a local and APB. We couldn't turn them up, though. They must have skipped town.
I see.
They had her tailed for a while, see if she'd lead us to him.
Yeah.
Nowhere. That's where we ended up.
They back in L.A.?
They were last week. Make another pigeon?
Yeah.
And I hope you have better luck than we did.
Yeah, we're going to need it. If they've moved on, it won't be very easy to catch up with.
Sure?
They got a lot of traveling money.
Oh, yeah?
$40,000. Frank and I put out a local and an APB on the 2 male suspects. We also put out a bulletin on the female suspect, Mabel Salton. But we requested that in her case, no arrest be made. We asked to be contacted in the event that she was located. From Johnny DeBetta, we learned that the Salton woman had also met the previous victim at an auction. Auctioneers and owners of auction houses were told to notify us if they saw the suspect. We talked to the manager of the apartment where the male suspects had lived and to check the clerk at the Count George Hotel. They were unable to help us. We contacted Las Vegas and learned that the Chateau Lafayette was in excellent financial condition. We also contacted CII up at Sacramento to see if they could give us an identification of the male suspects. We received a negative response. No new leads developed. 5 weeks passed. Wednesday, October 19th, 9:46 a.m. Bunko Fugitive, Friday. Yes, sir. That's right. When? I see. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Tencher Auction House out on 3rd Street. Yeah?
Auctioneer says he sold a couple of lamps to an old customer last night.
Who?
Mabel Salton. A.m. Frank and I drove out to the Tencher Auction Gallery on West 3rd. We showed the auctioneer a mugshot of Mabel Salton, and he said he was positive she was the woman he had seen the previous night. We went back to the office and had a conference with the skipper. You sure picking her up won't do any good?
Well, I didn't before, Captain.
Yeah.
Of course, this might not work either. We don't even know if her pals are back in town.
Well, how do you plan to make the contact?
Hang out at auctions, do a lot of bidding, let her think I'm loaded.
I don't know. May it be better if Smith went undercover this time. He looks more like a mark to me.
Well, now, wait a minute, Skipper.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Well, I know. I'm afraid using Smith would give us a problem, Captain.
Yeah.
Take another look at her picture.
Not bad, is she?
No, that's the trouble. Smith's got a wife. Arrangements were made for me to assume the name of Joe Fawcett. I took a room at a hotel in Hollywood and established myself as a businessman recently arrived from Chicago. Auction houses were told that I would be bidding on various items, and if my bid was accepted, the item was to be re-auctioned at some future date, and any loss incurred would be made good. During the next week, I attended 4 auctions. The woman suspect, Mabel Salton, was present at 2 of them. Thursday, October 27th, 9:42 p.m., I attended the 5th auction. It was at the Tencher Galleries. I managed to get a seat next to the suspect.
I have $45. I have $25. Who'll make it 30? Who'll make it 30? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. A mirror like this costs over $100 at any retail store. 25. Who'll give 30?
30.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this mirror belongs to one of America's most glamorous actresses, Miss Nora Westcliff. You've all seen her dozens of times on the screen. Here's your chance to buy one of her personal possessions. And don't forget where this mirror was hung. In Nora's bedroom. All right, now who'll make it 30? I have 25. Who'll give 30?
30 here.
Thank you, sir. There's a gentleman who appreciates the finer things. I have 30. Going once, that's 30.
35.
35, who'll give 40. 35, who'll give 40. How about it, sir? Don't let the little lady take it away from you.
If you really want it, it doesn't matter that much to me.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Are you all done? 35 once, 35 twice. So, the ladies of 35. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next item is a very unusual piece. It was designed to play.
Thanks for letting my gift stand.
That's all right, forget it.
Is there any way I can pay you back? Maybe you'd let me buy you a drink after the auction.
No, that isn't necessary. I didn't really want that mirror anyway.
I'd like to. Unless you're busy.
No, not a bit. You got a customer.
Now, you see how hard it is for them to lift it? Shows you the quality of the model. All right, boys, better set it down now again before you strain yourself.
Haven't you done some of the other sales?
A couple of them, yeah.
I thought you looked familiar. Come to think of it, I remember the things you bought.
Is that right?
Yeah, very good taste.
Thank you.
Magnificent center of attention. This is the table for you. The lace is solid brass. Cut especially.
I just love these auctions. Of course, I always end up buying a lot of things I don't need.
Well, that happens to me, too.
And then afterwards, you feel so darn foolish that there's nothing you can do. By then, it's too late.
Yeah, same here.
Well, that's true. If you properly treated first. But this table will never show a stain no matter what you
Yes, we have something in common, don't we, Mr.
I'm 40 minutes.
Joe Fawcett.
I'm Mona Eastman.
How do you do?
Very nice to meet you, Mr. Fawcett.
No, the pleasure's all mine. 11:16 p.m. We left the auction and drove over to the suspect's apartment. It was on the second floor of a two-story building just off Olympic Boulevard.
Bar's right over there, Joe. You'll take charge when I get out of my coat.
You bet. Scotch or bourbon?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you're having.
Hey.
Is the ice all melted?
No, there's a little left here.
That's good. I'm really awfully glad you could drop by.
So am I. Where's your drink?
Okay. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Strong enough, Wade?
That's just the way I like it. Why don't we sit down?
Sure.
Where's your home, Joe?
Well, I really don't have one yet.
Oh?
I got a hotel room over in Hollywood. I've been staying there for the last few days.
What about all these things you've been buying? The auction.
Oh, they're all for my new place. It hasn't come out of escrow yet.
I see.
It's out in Bel Air. Wish they'd hurry up and let me move in. For all I know, I may be getting too much stuff. I don't know what you need to furnish your house.
Well, isn't your wife?
Oh, I'm not married, Mona. Not anymore.
Oh, I see.
We broke up about a year ago.
Funny.
What's that?
That's when it happened to me. Just a year ago.
Is that so?
Maybe we have a little too much in common.
Yeah.
She hurt you, didn't she, Joe?
Well...
I can see it in your eyes. You have very sad eyes. And soft and thoughtful.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you can tell a lot about a person from your eyes.
You do, huh?
That's the first thing I notice about somebody. What do you notice, Joe?
Well, I guess I never thought too much about it, to tell you the truth.
What'd you notice first with me? Well?
Well, I guess it was your voice.
Oh?
You know, when you were bidding, I think that's what I noticed first.
I don't know whether that's a compliment or not.
Well, you have a very pleasant voice, Mona. Very pleasant.
George didn't think so.
Who?
My husband.
Oh.
He said I whined and nagged and made life miserable for him. Why'd you split up?
Just didn't work out.
You think you'll ever try it again?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty hard to say.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Well, I guess lots of people make mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
You need a freshener?
No, I have plenty here. Fix you up?
Yes, please. You don't drink very much, do you?
No, I just don't feel like it tonight.
Oh. Is it the company?
No, of course not.
I'm sorry if I, sort of forced you into taking me home.
Why, don't be silly.
I just thought that... Well, you didn't look very happy, and I thought maybe we both needed to be with someone else for a change.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks. What line are you in, Joe?
What's that?
What's your business?
Well, nothing right now. I guess you might say I'm unemployed.
What?
I had a company of my own back in Chicago. Textile manufacturing. I sold it when we split up.
What are you going to do now?
Oh, I'm sort of looking around. I got a little cash enough to get by on.
Oh?
If the right thing turns up, I guess I might go into it.
I suppose it's hard to tell what to put your money into nowadays.
Yeah, well, there's no hurry.
You know, that reminds me.
Hmm?
If you really do want to get into something good,
Yeah?
I know a couple of businessmen. Oh, they're not close friends or anything like that, but they have some excellent contacts.
Is that so?
I'm sure they could put you into something that would give you a nice return on your investment.
Well, it wouldn't do any harm to talk to them, would it?
I'm afraid you can't right now.
Why not?
They're out of town. Too bad, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. The Salton woman told me she'd let me know as soon as her friends returned to Los Angeles. During the next 10 days, I saw her on several occasions. As far as I could tell, the so-called Bonham brothers were still out of town. Tuesday, November 8th, 8:40 p.m. I was in my hotel room. Hello? Yes, Mama. Well, how about tonight? Sure, I'll pick you up. About 9:30? Fine. Bye. You want to get me Michigan 5211, please? That's right. Extension 2572. That's right. Extension 2572. Smith there? This is Joe. Yeah, I just heard from her. Better get hold of the bed and have him stand by. Tonight. Says they just blew into town. Over the phone, the Salton woman had told me her two business acquaintances had returned to Los Angeles. I was to meet them that night. Frank and Johnny DeBetta made arrangements to tail my car. 9:28 p.m. I picked up the female suspect. She told me her friends had rooms in the St. Clair Hotel over on Figueroa. We drove over there. It was 9:42 when we arrived. We went up to room 417. She introduced me to two men who matched the description of the male suspects we were looking for. They said their names were Tom and Fred Porst.
Sure is nice to meet you, Mr. Fawcett. Mona's been telling us about you. It seems you've made quite a hit with her.
Is that so? She told me about you fellas, too.
Now you've got to understand one thing.
What's that?
Anything we discuss in the business line, that is, well, it's got to be confidential.
Well, sure.
You see, my brother and I, we don't make a practice of taking outside investments, right, Fred?
Right.
Matter of fact, we don't even need any outside capital at the moment. We've sort of got a surplus.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe some other time then, huh? Nice to have met you.
Well, what's your hurry, Fawcett?
Well, you said that...
I said we don't need any capital.
Yeah.
Well, we might make an exception in your case, though.
Oh?
On account of Mona.
Well, I don't want you to put yourselves out. Something else will turn up.
Now, wait a minute. I was just thinking.
What's that?
Well, it never hurts to spread a good thing around. You got any plans for this Saturday?
Well, I don't know. What you have in mind?
Well, I thought we might fly down to Vegas. Get us a couple of girls. You can bring along Mona.
Why Vegas?
Oh, we got a friend down there. He made a killing at the crap tables a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck it in $1,000 bill.
Oh?
Now, he sort of forgot to mention it on his income tax, and now he could use the loot, but he's afraid to cash in the bills himself.
Yeah, I see.
He might be willing to sell them to us at a discount. You interested?
No, not very.
Why not?
An old con game like that?
What?
Was this the best you can do? The $1,000 bill routine's got whiskers on it. I should have known.
What are you talking about? How would you know? Listen, Fawcett, what are you doing here anyway? Why'd you want to meet us?
I was kind of curious about how you boys work. I heard a lot about you.
Huh?
Thought maybe I could pick up a new angle or two. Looks like I was wrong.
Well, what's the show? Oh, don't you see? He was just checking up on our pitch.
Yeah?
Well, he's a con man, too. Oh, you really pulled one this time, Mona, picking a pro for a mark.
How was I supposed to know?
Well, just one look. You should have been able to tell, played as a nose on your face.
It is, huh?
Sure. Don't take it to heart, buddy. You might fool the suckers, but I'm in the same racket. Well, I should have guessed it when you walked in the door. It's written all over you.
Yeah.
Where you been pitching lately?
City Hall.
Huh?
I'm a police officer. You're under arrest.
story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On February 2nd, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Mabel Harris Salton was tried and convicted of grand theft, 1 count, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Thomas Herbert Forst and Fred James Forst, alias Philip and Steve Bonham, were tried and convicted of grand theft, 2 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Grand theft is punishable by imprisonment in the county jail for not more than 1 year, or in the state prison for not less than 1, nor more than 10 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. You get a teletype warning you that 2 hold-up men are heading for your city. You know they're armed and dangerous. Your job? Be ready for them.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, April 5th. It was raining in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from R&I, and it was 8:46 a.m. when I got to room 27A. Squad room. Frank?
Yeah, Joe. Back here. How about it? Turn anything?
Yeah, a couple of names. None of them match the descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was supposed to be in.
This afternoon's mail, they said they were sending them there especially.
It'll be easier when we know who we're looking for, huh?
Yeah, sure will.
Friday, Smith?
Yeah, Skipper.
Got a minute?
We're right there.
Morning.
Yeah.
Close the door, huh?
Sure.
Sit down. Here. Take a look at this.
What is it?
About the Merton brothers.
Oh.
I just talked to Leopold.
Sheriff from Las Vegas?
That's right. Gave me as much as he could on the Merton.
Well, we checked our records. There's nothing on them here.
Isn't likely. From what Leopold says, they're fresh out from the east.
You name a town?
No, someplace in Georgia. They're trying to run it out.
Mm-hmm. Bolton we got said they pulled a couple of gas station holdups over there. Anything else?
Yeah, at least they think so.
Yeah.
According to their records, the boys got into town a couple of months ago. No visible means, but plenty of money. Hung around the places on the strip, gambled, drank, had themselves quite a time.
Yeah?
The department over there started to wonder where the money was coming from, put a couple of men on them full time.
What'd they find out?
Not much. Merton's played it cozy. They were finally picked up on a drunk charge, mugged and printed. Nothing to hold them on, so they were released.
Yeah.
Next morning, they skipped town, left clean. On the way out, they stopped long enough to kick in a couple of those gas station motels, you know, along the highway.
Yeah.
Scored pretty good.
The victims make the identification right away?
Yeah. As soon as they saw the pictures, Sheriff's Office notified Baker. Highway Patrol there was waiting, but they must have gotten through before the word went out.
Mm-hmm.
We've been able to trace them through Barstow, Victorville, on through Pear Blossom, Little Rock. They worked hard all the way.
What do you mean?
3 service stations, 2 restaurants, 1 motel.
Anything on them here in L.A.?
Not yet. It's a matter of time. We got to get them before then.
Yeah.
All the victims tell the same story. These 2 guys are off their rockers. The way it stacks up, they're well armed. The car they're driving is cold, and they're on the needle.
Heroin?
Well, we got it. Leopold says they kept a couple of dates with known pushers in Vegas. As far as he could tell, there wasn't anything passed. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's the story. Get on it.
Okay, Skipper.
I told you before, it's a matter of time till they try to put somebody around here in town.
Yeah.
A couple of crazy gunmen, high on H. Bad combination. Somebody's got to lose.
Well, let's hope it's not us. Ethan Gifford Merton, WMA, 27 years, 5 feet 8 inches, 165 pounds, and his brother, Grady James Merton, 24 years, 5 feet 6, 152 pounds, arrived in Los Angeles on the morning of April 5th. The first word we had of their presence was a hotshot telephone call reporting the robbery of a market on the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and Monroe Street. The market owners, Mr. and Mrs. Turner Dillon, had both been pistol whipped. Mr. Dillon had been removed to George Street Receiving Hospital for treatment of a skull fracture. The woman had been given emergency treatment on the scene and referred to her own doctor. The description the victims gave us matched the Merton brothers. As soon as the mugshots from Las Vegas arrived, Frank and I drove out to see Mrs. Dillon. We found her in a small apartment above the store.
I just talked to the doctor at the hospital. He said Turner'd be all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure a wonder the way they hit him.
Yes, sir.
No reason for it. We'd have given him the money. Turner kept telling him, take the money and leave us alone. Take the money. Didn't make any difference to him. I don't think they even heard us.
We'd like you to look at some pictures, Mrs. Dillon, and see if you can point out the men.
Oh, sure, anything to help you catch him.
Here you are, men.
Think you've got him in here, do you?
I hope so, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're right.
Ma'am?
Here they are. Same two. Am I going to help you get them?
Yes, ma'am. Did you notice that they drove a car, Mrs. Dillon?
I can't tell you for sure. We didn't really see until they were in the store.
I see.
Well, there must be something wrong with men who beat somebody up like that. You know, up here. Can't be a normal person.
What'd they say to you?
Well, they told us it was a stick-up. Said to hand over the money. The bigger one, that's him right there. He said for us to hurry up.
I see.
My husband opened the cash register, then I gave him what was there. The big one told him to get to the safe, hand over that money, too.
Yeah.
Pointed the guns at us, kind of pushed us back to the safe. Turner opened it. All the time we did just what they said. We weren't going to cause them any trouble.
Yeah.
Handed them all the money, every dime. Turner kept saying, take the money, but leave us alone. He must have said it 50 times. Before I even knew what was happening, Turner was lying on the floor. He'd been hit. I got mad. I tried to get at the man myself. Didn't make any difference to him. I was a woman. They hit me, too.
What's the gun?
Yeah, here. Right on my face. Guess they didn't hit me as hard as they did Turner. Guess they didn't. After that, they left the store.
Did you see him go?
Not too good. To tell you the truth, I was more concerned with taking care of my husband than paying attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of hoodlums. I don't know where men like that come from. Must be something wrong with the way they were brought up.
Yes, ma'am.
Truth come out, it'll probably be their parents who ought to be in jail, not the boys at all.
Well, you might be right.
Sure, it's not the boys' fault.
Well, we'll settle for him. .4:25 p.m. We received a communique from the FBI telling us that the Merton brothers are wanted by the state of Alabama for escape. A complete record on the two men was also sent. They've been arrested a total of 26 times for everything from petty theft to kidnapping. According to the kickback, they'd escaped from a road gang while serving a sentence for possession of narcotics. We contacted the authorities in Alabama and asked them to forward all available information on the suspects. After talking with Captain Donahoe, Frank and I went over to the First Street Station to see Captain Walter. We asked him to supply a list of places the two brothers might turn for a narcotic contact. He gave us a list of several places in town and the names of men we could talk to. 8:16 p.m. We started to check them out.
Yeah, what would it be?
You seen Patsy Hayworth around?
Well, why are you looking for him?
Want to talk to him?
What about?
Well, if we wanted you to know, we'd ask for you, wouldn't we?
You guys cops?
That's right. Now, where's Patsy?
I don't know.
Come on. We got word that he hasn't been more than 3 blocks away from here in the past 4 years. Now, where is he?
I told you, I don't know.
You're not being smart, mister.
Hey, back room.
Is he alone?
Yeah, as far as I know.
What's he doing?
Nothing different. Playing solitaire.
Oh.
Yeah? You want something?
You Patsy Hayworth?
That's right. Sit down. I know you.
I don't think so.
You're in the wrong room.
Police officers, we got some questions for you.
That don't guarantee the answers.
It's a start.
Go.
You heard from the Merton brothers?
Who?
Grady and Ethan Merton.
No name.
You don't know them?
Red Queen and the Black King, and I could turn him over. That's the baby I've been looking for. It's the first time today.
Is that so?
Yeah. First win. Too bad I didn't pay for the deck. I'd have made a killing.
All right, now come on, Hayworth. What do you know about the Mertons?
I told you nothing. Now, why come to me? A lot of other guys in town?
They're going to need 8. The way we got it, you can steer them to it.
Old friends again.
All right, get your coat.
Why?
Let's take a ride.
For what?
We can't talk here. Let's go downtown.
Well, it's a nice place. There's nothing wrong with right here.
All right, then. What do you know?
What's in it for me?
Why?
Well, information like that ought to be worth something.
You know we can't do anything for you. Come on, let's go.
Well, how long do you figure you're going to be able to hold me?
Long enough.
How do you make that?
Well, I'll tell you. We'll take you downtown, process you, pass the word you copped out. Told us about 6 people in town. Thing like that gets around, you're going to be in trouble. You'll come back with what we want to know.
Well, that's kind of crummy. It almost builds the blackmail.
Now, you called it. We didn't.
You'd really do that?
We would.
All right. You crossed out all the roads. What do you want to know about the Mertens?
You know
I met them yet.
Where?
Place down the street.
When?
Last night.
What is it, a bar or hotel?
Hotel.
Are they there now?
No, we just used the room to meet.
You know where they are?
No.
What they want?
You called it, H.
You do them any good?
No, I told you the truth. I'm not pushing anymore.
Why'd they come to you?
Heard I could turn them on.
What'd you tell them?
No, said I couldn't help them. I told them I'd try and line something up. Stall, you know. I don't want any part of that action. Even if I could have a piece of it, the answer would be no.
Why?
Well, these guys are too far out. They must be shooting 7, 8 caps a day. Got to spend most of their time cooking. They're out of their skull, these guys.
Mm-hmm. You got anything that'll help box them in?
I don't know. Hey, maybe the broad.
What do you mean?
Well, they're dragging a broad with them, a big one. Must be 6'2" and a starting.
You know her?
I've seen her around.
Where?
Used to hustle drinks downtown. Got too rough for some of the managers. They tied the can to her. She's been floating for a couple of months. Ties into some guy who'll pay the bills. As soon as he wises up, she drops and goes on the prowl.
She got an address?
Oh, I can't name it. Some flea bag on 5th, I think.
She a hide?
I don't know. She might chip you with it. Not steady enough.
Mm-hmm.
But she's smart, you know. How you look, she'd do real good. One of the homeliest women I ever met.
Is that so?
Yeah, looks like she should be wearing a bridle.
Where can we get in touch with her?
Well, it's hard to say since she's running with the Mertens.
Yeah.
You might try the Ten of Hearts.
Where's that?
It's a dive on 6. She used to show for the place. When they kicked her out, she went freelance. She still hangs around, I think.
All right. How'd you leave it with the Mertens?
Huh?
They going to contact you?
I don't know. They might. You want me to call you if they do?
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
Okay. You got a card?
Here.
Thanks. I'll give you a ring.
All right, anyway. We'll hear from you, right?
Yeah. There you are, you see?
What?
You should have banked the game. I lost.
No, you didn't.
Huh?
You won. We returned to the office and ran the name and description of the woman through the record section. We came up with a package listing arrest for violation of Section 647.5 of the Penal Code and 4220 LAMC, soliciting drinks. She'd served 2 terms in the county jail and at the present time was not on parole. We got her address and drove out to see her. The landlady at the apartment house told us she was out and wasn't expected back at any certain time. Frank and I drove down to the Ten of Hearts, a small bar on 6th Street. We found the woman sitting on one of the front stools.
Hi, honey. Like to buy a drink?
Your name Jane Finletter?
Names don't mean anything here. Just friends. That's all it really counts, friends.
How about it? That's your name?
Are you guys cops?
That's right.
What are you asking me for? I ain't done nothing.
We're not rousing you. We want to talk to you.
About what?
Let's get outside. Be easier to talk there.
I got a choice.
Not much.
Okay. Henry?
Yeah, Jane.
Save the stool. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So?
Right out here. We can talk in the car.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Get in.
Okay, what's the beef?
You work here, do you?
You mean this place?
That's right.
Once in a while I come in, have a couple of drinks, that's it.
Where do you live?
I've been the route cop. You're right out here to pass the time of day. What do you after?
A couple of questions.
Not the power for that.
What do you mean?
You're not uniform. You don't send a suit out to ask about a traffic accident.
What do you do with your time, Jane?
Move around.
Well, lay it out for me. What?
When?
Start first of the week, huh?
Okay. Slept late Monday. Got up about 1:30. Had a bad night Sunday. Woke up with a real head.
Mm-hmm.
Tagged the bar on the corner. Had a couple of Bloody Marys. Went home. Changed my clothes and met a friend.
You want to give us his name?
Ain't go any farther.
Not from us.
Nick Pfeiffer.
Okay, what happened then?
I was out with him until maybe 2:30.
That's in the morning.
Yeah. Came home, went to bed. Slept until about 11:32.
Mm-hmm.
Got a call from a couple of friends who just got into town.
Get their names?
Same deal.
Same deal.
A couple of brothers. They met a girlfriend of mine in Las Vegas. She gave them my number.
How about the names?
Ethan and Grady Merton.
Okay.
Met them, had a couple of drinks, and drove out to the beach for lunch. Came back to town, had dinner. Takes us up to last night.
You seen him today?
No. Ethan called me this afternoon.
Yeah.
Said they had some kind of a business deal to take care of this evening. After that, they were going to pick me up.
Where?
Here, in about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That the reason for the muscle, the Merton brothers?
Might be.
They got a game going. I'm not on their side. I want that clear. They pulled a boo-boo. They did it themselves. No help from me. As far as I'm concerned, they both got soft spots.
What do you mean?
In their skulls. Soft.
They say what this business was they had to take care of.
No, mentioned something about somebody owing them money, something like that, so they were going to collect.
Didn't say where, though.
Not to me. The way they were rigged last night, though, doesn't leave a lot of doubt. All those guns going out to collect.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do it nice.
The office and told them what had happened. Another team of men were sent out to help us cover the place. Frank and I took up our positions in the back of the bar and we waited. 1:15 a.m., 1:30, 1:45.
What do you think, Joe?
I don't know.
Maybe they decided not to show us.
That's possible.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, I got an idea this morning.
Yeah?
While I was shaving.
I
always have trouble, try all the things they tell you. Let the lather stay on 2.5 minutes, hot water, all the things you're supposed to do. I've tried them all. Finally came up with the answer.
You did, huh?
Yep.
Well, what is it this time?
New kind of razor?
New razor.
Yeah. I got thinking about Faye and gave me the idea.
How does that work?
Faye's my wife.
Yeah, I know that. She's shaving now?
Oh, Joe, you don't understand. She's not shaving.
No?
No. See, last night she gave herself one of those home permanents, and I got the idea from that.
For the new razor?
Yeah. They got those permanent things for different kinds of hair, like hair that's hard to curl, medium, easy to curl. Easy,
I think I know what's coming here.
Well, if somebody invented a razor for tough beards, medium beards, light beards, he'd do all right.
You going to invent it, are you?
Sure, I'm not going to invent it. You know how I am with those things. Just got the idea, though. That's all. I'd sure like to buy one if they had them. Tough beards, find one right away. First day. That'd be the answer.
Well, here comes ours. Looks like Grady Merton just came in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where his brother is.
Might be outside.
Better wait a minute before we move. He's talking to the thin letter woman.
Yeah. Now it's starting to leave. Let's go. We'll take him outside.
Right.
All right, Merton, hold it up.
He's leaving, Joe.
All right, come on, calm down. Take it easy.
Leave me alone.
Police officer. Take it easy. All right, now, come on, Merton. Get up.
Come on.
Get over there by the wall.
Stand still. Here, Joe. Luger. Hurting still.
Yeah.
All right, put your hands down the back.
What are you shoving me around for, cop? You're going to be sorry about...
Where's your brother?
You'll find him.
You got a fat mouth, mister. Now, where is he?
I won't lead you to him.
Got him, huh?
That's right.
You turned him on, didn't you?
You talk to me. Guys like you always causing trouble.
Ah, you cheap bum. I don't know what he's in season. You're sure going to be sorry when he hears about this.
Tell him to stay away, too.
He'll get you. You can't dig far enough to get away. He'll find you and pay you back.
All right, that's enough. Now, let's go.
You tell her. She's going to collect interest on it. She'll be sorry.
Not alone.
Huh?
She'll have company. The other team of men remained at the bar in the event the other suspects returned. We took Grady Merton to the city hall for questioning. Empty your party.
Huh?
Come on, empty them out.
Wallet. Change, keys, handkerchief, penknife. That's it.
Let me see your arms, Merton.
Huh?
Come on, let me see your arms.
What for?
Now, there's two ways to do this. You take your choice.
Okay. All right.
When'd you have your last pop?
You got to prove it.
That won't be hard. All we got to do is drop you in an ISO cell and you'll be screaming for it.
Sure. You get all the money you can on that. I'll book it myself.
Let me see the wallet.
There's nothing wrong with your reach.
This the pink slip on your car?
Yeah.
Bought it in Nevada?
That's what it said.
Yeah. What are those keys for?
Nothing. I just like to carry them.
Stand up.
Now, what happens now? You hit me?
Turn around. Forgot something, didn't you, Merton?
Huh?
Key here. What's it for?
I never saw it before.
Hendricks Arms Hotel. Is that where you've been staying?
I'm not going to say anything more. You want me to talk? It's got to be with a lawyer.
All right.
I know my rights. You can't make me say nothing more.
You don't have to.
Huh?
We got all we need. Grady Merton taken to the main jail and held to answer charges of violation of Section 211 PC. 3:26 a.m., Frank and I left the office and drove out to the Hendricks Arms. It was a large private home in the Crenshaw area that had been converted into a hotel. Frank covered the back entrance to the building, and I walked up the steps.
Just a minute. I'm coming. You know, it's 3:30. Hope you got a good reason coming around here this time of night.
Police officer, can you tell me who's registered in room 5C?
What for?
Police business.
Listen, mister, this is a clean place. There's no trouble. Now, that's the way I run it. That's the way I want it to
Yes,
stay.
sir. Now, who's in room 5C?
A couple of guys.
What are the names?
I don't know, Smith or something. Wife rented the room to him. Only seen him a couple of times.
All right, did one of them look like this picture?
Come in here while I get some light, huh?
All right.
Now then, let's take a look. Oh, this the fellow here?
That's right.
Well, yes. Guess that's one of them. Yeah.
Is he in now?
Well, I wouldn't have any way of knowing that. Tenants come and go as they please. See, as long as they don't let the water run, don't have no loud parties, we don't bother.
Where is the room?
It's the third floor rear.
Okay. This hall go to the back door?
Yeah, you got to go through the kitchen. Say, can you tell me what this is all about?
It'd be better if we didn't.
You going to be in shooting?
I don't think so.
Well, if there is, I can give you a hand. I got a 12-gauge in my room. I used to hunt ducks. I can get it if you give
No,
me a
sir,
hand.
that won't be necessary. All right, Frank.
Is he here?
Don't know yet. Is there any back stairs?
Yes, sir. Right through there. Looks like a closet, but you open another door and you can go on up.
All right, sir. Do you have a key to the room?
Yeah. Here you are. Want me to go with you?
Might be better if you stayed here.
Yeah, well, I'll get my gun, guard the front door. He won't get out. I'll guard it.
This is down this way.
Yeah, easy. No noise.
No. You all set?
Yeah.
Locked.
Behind you, Joe.
I get the light.
All right, what are you doing? Hi, Jack, what are you guys doing
Get
here?
up. Come on up.
Now, how'd you get to me? How'd you do it?
We did.
I should have killed you. All the time in the world, I didn't do it. I should have killed you.
Yeah, you should have.
Perfect shot, and I couldn't do it. No reason at all. Wouldn't have cost me any more.
That's so?
Yeah, sure, they never executed anybody in this state for killing a cop. Wouldn't have cost me any more.
You got a bigger bill than you can pay now. Come on.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent. On August 18th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Ethan Gifford Merton and Grady James Merton were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 5 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of from 5 years to life. Because of the viciousness of their crimes, their sentences were set to run consecutively. A hold was placed on them by the state of Alabama in the event they are paroled. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Herb Ellis, Virginia Gregg, Vic Rodman, Bert Holland. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
Chesterfield,
brings you Dragnet.
Put a smile in your smoking.
By Chesterfield. Smoother. Cooler. Best for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to narcotics detail. You get a report that a supply of heroin has reached your city. You don't know who's got it or where it is. Your job, find out.
Smoking with a smile with Chesterfield. Smoother, cooler, milder Chesterfield. Put a smile in your smoking, just give 'em a try. Chesterfield's best for you. They satisfy.
If you want tomorrow's better cigarette today, next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember, only Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray. You'll notice how fresh and good Chesterfield's made with Accuray taste, how smooth they are, and how they satisfy. So buy Chesterfield today. Best for you.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, May 23rd. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of narcotics detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Waller. My name's Friday. We were on our way back from questioning an informant, and it was 10:46 p.m. when we got to the First Street Station. Narcotics Squad Room.
You think Bronco's holding out on us?
I don't know.
Well, if we don't turn something pretty soon, the stuff will be all over town.
Yeah.
How about a cup of coffee, Joe?
Huh?
Coffee. You want a cup?
Sure, if you got some.
Yeah, I brought a thermos from home.
Oh.
Made it myself the way I like it. You know, strong.
Mm-hmm. I got some cups.
Wait a minute. You don't need them, Joe.
What?
Don't need them. I got cups right here on the top of the thermos, 4 of them. It's some gadget, huh? Look at that. Kids gave it to me for Christmas. Of course, they probably picked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, look at her steam. Really keeps the heat in.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Drink up.
Thanks.
What's the matter? Something the matter?
No, you were right. That's all.
What do you mean?
About it being strong.
Oh, yeah. When I want coffee, I want boiled water, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this stuff's got some taste to it.
It sure has.
Well, aren't you going to finish yours?
Well, I'm not thirsty right now.
Oh. Hey, you know, Joe, I just realized something. All these years I've been working with you, it never dawned on me before.
What's that?
You don't like coffee.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you don't, Joe. Not the real genuine articles, stuff they serve in restaurants, drugstores, or... Heck, that's not coffee.
It's not, huh?
No, this is coffee.
Yeah.
A little bite to it, a little zing. Yeah. You don't like it.
Well...
All these years I've been working with a partner who doesn't appreciate good coffee. Well, I guess you learn something all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't finish it if you don't want.
Narcotics Friday. Who? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Candy. Mm-hmm. That's right. Are you still at the same place? Sure, I know where it is. What's that room number? Okay. Goodbye. It's Candy Delman.
Yeah?
You heard we were talking to Bronco tonight.
Bronco tell him what it was about?
He must have. At least Candy knows we didn't get anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Says it's our own fault for not going to the right guy.
And who's that?
Him. Candy Delman was an informant who had served 3 sentences for violation of the State Narcotics Act. Since his release from prison, he had given police officers several leads to burglary and robbery suspects. Most of his leads had panned out. As far as we knew, Delman was no longer a narcotics user or a pusher himself, but in the past he had always refused to give any information on the dope racket. Over the phone, he said he was living at the Hattrick Hotel on South Spring Street, room 217. Frank and I left the office and drove out to talk to him. It was 11:22 p.m. when we got to the hotel, a dark, two-story building badly in need of repair. We went inside and started up the stairs to the second floor.
Get back down here, both of you. Come on, start moving.
What's the trouble, lady?
Something the matter with your eyesight?
No, I don't think so.
Why don't you use it? Sign right here on the desk. Ring for the manager.
Yeah.
Didn't hear no ring, did I?
We didn't see any reason to bother you.
It's my worry, ain't it?
Sure.
Bells are to be rung. And hearing it ain't what bothers me. It's guys like you sneaking in trying to get a free pad for the night.
Take it easy, lady. We don't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Then what do you want?
We just dropped by to see Candy.
Who?
Candy Delman.
He lives here, doesn't he?
He might.
Well?
A friend of yours?
He's expecting us.
How do I know?
Well, why don't you ask him?
Oh, sure. That's all I gotta do. Tramp up and down them stairs from morning till night. Call him to the phone. Give him messages. Done him for back rent. Well, I ain't making no extra trip on account of you.
Well, you suit yourself.
Just you wait a minute. I ain't said you could go upstairs. You claim to know Candy. What's his room number?
217. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you be sure you let me know when you leave. And you better be out of here by midnight or I'm collecting a buck from each of you. Friends or no friends, you're not bunking with Candy unless I get paid. In advance.
Oh, she's mouthing you. You know something, Joe? Faye was after me just the other day about getting a new suit.
Oh?
I guess she was right.
Yeah. Must be down this way.
Yeah. Maybe you ought to go with me. Buy some clothes yourself.
What for?
Oh, we must need them. If a dame like that figures we'd mooch a room in this joint.
I wouldn't help with her. Here we are.
Yeah, who is it?
Joe.
Just a minute. Come on in.
Thank you. You know Frank Smith, don't you, Candy?
Sure.
Hi, Candy.
Want a drink?
No, thanks.
Smith?
No, thanks.
Don't mind if I take a blast.
That's up to you.
As long as I'm drinking alone, there's no point in dirtying the glass. I guess maybe I'm turning into a lush, huh?
Is that right?
Been hitting the bottle pretty hard lately, since I went off the stuff.
That's so?
Yeah. You guys knew I was off it, didn't you? I ain't even chip you no more.
Well, you don't have to sell us, Candy.
Well, I ain't selling nobody. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you want to see us about?
Anybody know you're here?
The lady downstairs.
You mean the manager of this flea bag?
Yeah, I guess that's what she is.
Lady, you ask me, them flying saucers must be real.
Well?
How else would a dame like that get here? Hey, she knew you cops.
We didn't tell her.
You telling anybody else that you were coming to see me?
No.
Come on, Candy. What's it all about, huh?
Well, take it easy. Don't push me. Why don't you sit down?
We're all right.
You was talking to Bronco tonight, huh?
Well?
I bumped into him right after you shoved off.
That's so.
Yeah, asking a mule like him about H, boy, he's lucky if he can turn a couple sticks of tea.
We're asking everybody.
Didn't ask me.
Well, we figured it'd be a waste of time.
I've helped you guys before.
No, not when it came to the stuff, you didn't.
Maybe this is different.
Yeah.
I always figured a guy gets hooked. That's his own business. He done it himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's his getting hurt, too, yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hooked 3 times, I don't know.
Yeah, you should.
Guy wants to kick it, it's up to him, too.
Mm-hmm.
You can stick him in a joint, send him to the hospital, maybe he'll get rid of the habit for a while, but if he wants to kick it for good, he's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else. It ain't easy either. Guy's own business is what happens. Whether he goes for a ride or gets off.
All right, come on, Candy. What are you getting at here?
Horse you're looking for, it ain't just going to guys, boy.
You mean kids, too?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Fella asked me if I wanted to make a buy. I thought I was still shooting caps.
What fella?
Mm-mm.
Come on, we'll stand in front of you, Candy.
Well, you take it my way or you don't get it. That means no names.
All right, give us the rest of it.
Well, like I said, he asked me if I was interested in a buy, and I told him I wasn't.
Yeah.
He said that was okay with him. He had plenty of other customers. He cut a lot thinner for some of them. A pro like me, I might know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Kids just offer the weed, they wouldn't care. He said he was only making me an offer as a favor, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever buy from him before?
Well, look, Joe, just let me tell it, huh?
Go ahead.
Well, the way he talked kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Even when I was pushing, I never sold a kid. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know saying I never pushed no kids. It just didn't seem right.
Yeah.
So when I bumped into Bronco tonight and he told me that you guys were looking for H, well, I figured maybe I owed you a hand.
Go ahead.
Make you feel kind of funny?
What?
I never finked on a guy in a trade before. You know that.
Well, you're out of it now, aren't you?
Yeah, for now. You never know, Joe. 3 times, I've been down. You never know when it's going to happen again. I ain't making no promises, even to myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I ain't never copped out on anything like this before. Sort of like turning myself in. It's good age, too. It's Eastern.
Yeah.
It's been cut, but it's not too thin. The way you talk, must have, 6, 8 ounces left. The rest of it's been sold.
Yeah.
He can cut a lot thinner if he wants to. It's dealing with kids. It don't matter,
Well,
where do we find him, Candy?
You ever hear of Walker Drive, Hollywood Hills?
We can find it.
Well, it's not much of a street. It's just 4 or 5 blocks, dead end. Cuts off a Laurel before you get to Mulholland.
Well, go ahead.
That's it.
Well, which house?
I didn't say nothing about no house. Maybe he lives there, or maybe he's just going up to make a sale. I don't know.
You think he's there now?
I didn't ask him for no time schedule. Now, go on, beat it, will you? I want to get drunk. Oh. Hey, look. There's something about you guys that keeps me sober. If you don't shove off, I'm going to run out of booze.
You want to tell us what he looks like, Candy?
You've had it, Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. You haven't given us very much.
Is that so? Well, you know something? It's lucky for you I got principles about pushing the kids.
Yeah.
You'd have got nothing.
We continued to question Delman, but he refused to give us any further information. 11:46 p.m., Frank and I left the Hattrick Hotel and we drove up into the Hollywood Hills. We turned off Laurel Canyon onto Walker Drive. The street was only 5 blocks long and there were approximately 20 houses on it. 12:22 a.m., we pulled up at the corner of Walker and Laurel where we'd be able to notice anybody who turned into or out of the drive. 1:06 a.m., a man approached a Chevy convertible parked across the street from us. We knew he'd walked down from one of the houses on Walker, but we hadn't been able to determine which one. He passed under a street lamp, and we recognized him as Sam Free, a known narcotics user and suspected peddler.
Hold it, Sam.
Huh?
Right where you are. Hold it up.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Turn around, Sam. Put your hands against the side of the car.
Yeah. You guys know me. I don't carry nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what you doing in my pockets? I ain't got no gun. You said so yourself. Where the heck did that come from?
Why don't you tell us?
It's the stuff jar.
This all you got, Sam? Well, is it?
Yeah.
You're coming up in the world, aren't you?
What do you mean?
A couple of months ago, all we had you pegged for was a user and a small-time pusher. That's a lot of H. Where'd you get it?
Well, now, you know better than that.
You're in trouble, Sam.
Okay, you found the stuff on me. That means I'm going to do some time.
A lot of time.
Well, whatever it is, I'd just as soon be in one piece when I come out.
Who's the car belong to, Sam?
What car?
This one right here.
Huh?
You were getting into it, Sam.
Was it?
I'll give it a check, Jimmy.
All right. It's my car, so what?
I'll still check it.
Who fed you?
What?
To where I was.
You're not hard to find, Sam.
Yeah? You've been looking for me over 3 weeks now.
That's so?
Only you didn't know I was the guy you were after.
Thank you.
For what?
For telling us when the H got into town.
A lot of good it'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the day I'd have been clean, you wouldn't have found none of it.
Yeah?
My own fault trying to get a good price. I should have taken what was offered. It's the real stuff, though. Man don't like to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
Got something?
Yeah. Take a look in the back seat. A bunch of sweaters. Look like cashmeres.
I bought them for my girl. It's her birthday.
There must be some girl.
Yeah.
At least 40 sweaters there, Joe.
Yeah?
In all different sizes.
Listen to an electronic miracle. This electronic miracle, Accuray, means that everything from auto tires to apple pie, battleship steel to baby food, butter to cigarettes can be made better and safer for you. Now meet Mr. Bert Choate, brilliant young president of Industrial Nucleonics. Well, Bert, exactly what is Accuray?
Well, George, it is a device by which a stream of electrons passes through and analyzes the product while it is actually being made. They transmit what they see to this electronic brain, which adjusts the production machinery for errors down to millionths of an inch.
Well, can you give us an example of what it does?
Sure, take this piece of steel. How thick would you say it is?
Oh, about as thick as the cellophane from a pack of Chesterfields.
Accuray has made it possible to roll that steel accurately 1/10,000th of an inch thick. It takes 10 of these to equal the thickness of a sheet of cellophane.
That's amazing. Now let's get back to the pie and the baby food. Will Accuray bake a pie and tend the baby?
Well, not quite yet, George. But because this electronic control can improve shortening texture, for instance, your wife can bake a more delicious pie. And because Accuray can make baby food more uniform, that food will be more digestible for your baby.
One more question, one that so many people ask me. How does Accuray make Chesterfield a better cigarette than was ever possible before?
Every cigarette made with Accuray control contains a more precise measure of perfectly packed tobaccos. So Chesterfield smokes smoother, without hot spots or a hard draw.
And that's why Chesterfield tastes so much better. And I guess that's why you smoke them yourself, Bert.
You see, I know what Accuray can do.
Well, there's your answer. If you want tomorrow's better cigarette today, next time, stop. Remember. Only Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray. Best for you.
We took the suspect, Sam Free, down to the main jail, and we had him booked on possession of narcotics and suspicion of burglary. An examination of the labels in the sweaters indicated that they were all from the same Whiteside Ladies Sports Shop in North Hollywood. 1:58 a.m. We contacted the owner of the store, Mr. T.P. Whiteside.
Yes, sir, that's right. Mm-hmm. If you would, we'd appreciate it. About 30 minutes? All right, sir, fine. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, he says they're stolen, all right.
Well, why didn't he report it?
Well, he didn't know anything about it until now.
Huh?
It just must have happened tonight.
2:22 a.m. Frank and I met Mr. Whiteside at his sportswear shop on Lancashire Boulevard. At the rear of the building, we found a cut screen and a window that had been forced open. We called the crime lab and asked them to check the premises for any physical evidence. Mr. Whiteside made a quick survey of his stock, and as far as he could tell, the only missing item was a supply of cashmere sweaters.
I just can't get over it.
How's that, Mr. Whiteside?
You fellas finding out about all this even before I did.
No.
Well, I've done my share of complaining about policemen. In the past, that is.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I got a ticket, I used to say to myself, ain't he got nothing more important to do than pull me over for going a couple of miles too fast? That's what I said.
Yes, sir.
I figured that's all you police fellas cared about, giving folks tickets. Never seemed like you was paying no attention to the real crooks around town.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I owe you an apology.
It's all right, forget it.
No. Oh, no, I ain't gonna forget it. I've been wrong about cops all these years, and you sure showed me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Apology, that's what I owe you. Gonna accept it?
Yes, sir.
Shake?
You bet.
You too, mister?
Huh?
You willing to shake with me?
Oh, sure, you bet. Sure.
Say, about them sweaters you found.
Yes, sir.
Like you to keep a couple of them for your wives or girlfriends.
No, sir, that's all right. Thanks anyway, Mr. Whiteside.
You're entitled. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't be getting them back.
It's our job.
Oh, go on. Keep a couple anyway,
No,
won't
sir,
you?
I'm sorry,
Please.
we can't do that.
Oh, well, I would offer the reward if I'd known about the burglary.
Yes, sir, we understand.
Well, it's your own fault. Nobody else is. You're to blame for it.
How's that?
No reward.
Huh?
Didn't give me time enough.
4:05 a.m. The crew from the crime lab reported that there was no physical evidence at the store. Frank and I went off duty. The next afternoon, May 24th, at 4:16 p.m., we checked our weapons at the booking counter of the city jail, and we asked to interview the prisoner, Sam Free. The booking sergeant told us he was in cell 104.
Yeah?
Free in 104.
Okay. Free in 104 for interview.
Free for interview.
Sit down, Sam.
Sure.
You ready to do some talking?
About what?
The stuff. Where'd you get it?
Now, look, we had it checked by the lab, Sam.
Yeah?
It isn't Mexican. It's from back east someplace.
No kidding. Okay, I got it from back east. I sure don't want to louse up your scientific cats by saying different.
Is that the way you want it on your report?
Huh?
Uncooperative?
Ain't gonna make no difference what you guys put down.
It might, Sam.
Oh, look, you want a deal, I'll talk, otherwise forget it.
We don't make deals, you know that.
Huh? It's up to you.
Now, look, this isn't your first fall, Sam. It's going to go hard with you.
Maybe.
No maybes.
Oh, you never know. I'm chinning with some of the boys back there. They tell me things have changed around here.
Yeah.
Case against me might not stand up.
You wouldn't want to bet on that, would you, Sam?
Just telling you what I heard.
Don't you count on it.
Yeah?
Things haven't changed that much. 4:31 p.m. Frank and I went over to the Hall of Justice to file a complaint against Free. We talked to Deputy District Attorney Don Avery in the complaint department and gave him a complete statement of facts concerning Free's arrest.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Everything that happened?
Yeah. Why? What's the matter, Don? Something wrong with this case?
I don't know yet.
Well, Free himself said it might not stand up. We figured he was just talking.
Yeah.
We got the H, the stolen sweaters. What more do you need?
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
Now, give me the same answers you'd give in court if you were under oath.
All right.
Free was beside this car when you stopped him, is that right?
That's right.
Did you place him under arrest before you searched it? Well, did you?
Well, not in so many words.
What do you mean?
Well, we knew he was a hike. He knew we were cops. He could have figured that out.
But you didn't say you're under arrest in those words.
No, I don't think I did.
Smith?
Well, Don, we didn't have anything to arrest him for, not until after we found the H.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any reason to suspect he was carrying dope?
Well, like I said, he's a user.
Yeah.
That he was in the neighborhood. We knew somebody around there was carrying it.
Well, then you weren't looking for Free in particular.
Well, no.
The way I get it, the burglary hadn't been reported yet, is that right?
That's right.
So finding the sweaters was a surprise.
Yeah, it sure was.
Well, we'll file on them. It may not stick.
What are you talking about, Don?
The evidence.
Well, what's wrong with it?
The way you got it.
What?
You heard about the exclusionary ruling, didn't you?
Yeah.
Skipper had an assembly on it.
Well?
Look, Don, we're not lawyers. We're cops.
Sure. Well, here's the way it operates. Evidence obtained by illegal search or seizure can be thrown out of court. Simple as that.
Yeah?
Federal government has the same ruling. Most of the states don't. We never have until now. Before, if a policeman committed an illegal search or seizure, he could be prosecuted. Lots of times he was. But the evidence could still be used at the suspect's trial.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way anymore.
No?
Well, look, maybe I'm just thick, Don, but it seems to me the only guy who's better off's the criminal.
That's how I see it, too.
Mm.
Well, all right, now look. Suppose we do pick up a guy. Maybe we aren't right, but we think we're onto something. If he's clean, he's not out anything except a little time and trouble.
Yeah.
And if he isn't, we got some evidence.
Not anymore, you haven't.
Yeah, well, this just don't make sense to me.
Well, what are we supposed to do from here on in?
You want to make a search, you got to get the guy's permission, or put him under arrest first, or have a valid search warrant. Otherwise, it's illegal. Your evidence may not hold.
Let me have that again.
If you want to make a search, you got to get the guy's permission, or put him under arrest first, or have a valid search warrant. Otherwise, it's illegal.
Well, now let's take Free, for instance.
Yeah?
We didn't have anything to arrest him on. As for getting his permission to search, well, I got a big picture of that.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way of getting a search warrant drawn, Don. We didn't even know what we were looking for.
Well, that's the way it's got to be from here on in.
Every time?
Well, there might be some exceptions. I don't know. It's up to the courts to decide.
But what if we're after somebody, a guy who's heavy?
Yeah?
Let's take a killer, maybe, so we want to break in. We supposed to ask him if it's all right if we break in?
You can get a warrant.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't know who he is. Maybe it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What do you do then?
When it comes up, you'll get an answer.
Well, let's come up right now.
What?
We got a dope pusher here. He's been selling H to kids. We got him made, dead to rights. Burglary, too. Now, you say he's going to get off.
I didn't say for sure.
Well, I don't even like to hear a maybe, not in a case like this.
It's the best I can do, Joe. I didn't hand down the ruling. If you'd arrested him first, that'd be different.
Yeah, and if he hadn't been carrying, he could have slapped a suit on us for false arrest.
Only thing I can tell you, get a warrant, get permission, or arrest him first.
Yeah, well, there's only one thing I'm going to tell you. It's not going to work.
Maybe not.
So just what do we do? Go back to pounding beats? Is that it?
Look, I said we might not be able to make it hold up in Free's case. If we can't, you'll get him sooner or later. You've got him pegged. Next time, get to him, so it'll stick.
Well, don't worry about it. We will.
Well?
Tell me one thing, Don, before we do.
Yeah?
How much more stuff is this guy going to peddle?
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On May 30th, the preliminary hearing was held in Division 4 Municipal Court in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that hearing.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Chesterfield, made the modern way with Accuray. I wonder if you realize what that means to you. For the first time, you get a perfect smoke column in your cigarette. A smoother smoke. A cooler smoke than you've ever had before. To put a smile on your smoking, try 'em. Chesterfield.
In the case of Sam Arthur Free, the court ruled that the evidence against him had been obtained by illegal search and seizure. The charges against the suspect were dismissed. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Jack Crucian, Herb Ellis, Vic Rodman. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
This is it, L&M Filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor.
L&M's got everything.
It's the best.
No other cigarette gives you L&M's assurance. Assurance that it is best. L&M's got everything. Superior taste, superior tobacco, superior filter. Buy L&M today.
Most of you are Gunsmoke radio fans, and many of you have written to the makers of Chesterfield and L&M filters, asking them to put Gunsmoke on television, too. Here's the good news. Gunsmoke is going on TV starting Saturday night, September 10th. If you enjoy Gunsmoke on radio, we're sure you'll go for Gunsmoke on TV. Now, television will have an authentic adult Western, the Gunsmoke you know on radio. Remember, Saturday night, September 10th, Gunsmoke on TV. Check your local listings for time and station.
This is the NBC Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to narcotics detail. You get a tip that a man is peddling heroin at his place of residence. He's a known user. Your job? Check it out.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, September 6th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of narcotics detail. My partner is Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Walter. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 9:33 p.m. when we got to the corner of 8th and Temple. Converted garage.
Is that the right address?
Yeah, why don't you swing around here at the corner? We can park across the street up there.
Okay.
Yeah, right up here will do.
All right. Sure isn't much of a house. Looks more like a store or something.
Yeah.
You sure that's where he's living, Joe?
Yeah, Nicky says the place used to be a garage.
Oh?
Fellow who ran it went broke. He turned it into living quarters.
Oh, I see. How long's Denson been staying here?
About 6 months.
Alone?
No, he's got his family with him. Wife, 2 or 3 kids.
Well, what do you think? Should we tap him now?
Let's give it a couple of minutes, see if he's drawn any customers.
Okay. Is this Nicky sure about all this?
Yeah, he says he is. Says Denson's loaded for action, 30 or 40 caps.
Just got him tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Nicky know who he got him from?
If he does, he wouldn't tell me.
Joe.
Front door. Yeah.
Must be the wife. Wonder who she's looking for.
I don't see anybody.
Guess she doesn't either.
Well, that might make it a little easier for us.
What do you mean?
She left the door open. Approximately 45 minutes earlier, we'd received a telephone call from an informant named Nicky Corbin. Corbin had reported that Slim Denson, a known narcotics user who lived at the corner of Temple and 8th, had some 30 or 40 caps of heroin in his possession. Corbin said Denson was getting ready to push the stuff. Frank and I waited across the street from the Denson residence for 26 minutes. During that time, no one came in or out of the house, but the front door remained open. 9:59 p.m., a young man turned the corner and headed into the converted garage. 5 minutes later, he reappeared and started down the street.
Should we talk to him?
Yeah. Wait a minute, Frank.
Huh? I guess he forgot something.
Yeah.
Going back inside.
Let's give him some company. The man re-entered the Denson residence. As soon as he disappeared through the front door, I moved in after him. At the same time, Frank went around to the rear of the building. The garage had been crudely partitioned into rooms, and the front area contained an overstuffed sofa, a dining room table, and chairs, and a TV set. In addition to the young man who had gone in ahead of me, there were 2 other people in the room. The woman who had previously appeared in the doorway and a sallow-faced, middle-aged man.
Now, hold on, mister. Where do you think
Police
you're going?
officer, you're under arrest.
Police?
That's right. Don't move any of you.
It's a fine time for you to be showing up. You ought to be ashamed.
How's that?
3 hours ago. That's when you should have been here. That's when we needed you.
Oh, now take it easy, Alice. Don't start raising no snakes.
Little girl, only 7 years old, running around the city like this. Lord knows what could have happened to her. You call a cop, he don't even show up till 3 hours later.
I told you, hold your mouth.
Elsie's my baby. I was half out of my mind when she didn't come home from school. No thanks to you that she got home at all.
I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
Elsie, that's what I'm talking about, my baby.
Yeah. Anybody else around, Frank?
Yeah, a couple of youngsters sleeping in one of the back rooms. That's it.
All right. Now move over that wall. Go on, move.
Never heard of such a thing. Little girl gets lost on the way home from school. You send for a policeman that treats you like you was
You better
dead.
get it straight, lady. You're under arrest. All of you. It hasn't got anything to do with your daughter.
Arrest?
Hey, but you can't arrest me. I ain't done anything.
Is that so?
You gotta have a reason for picking somebody up, a good reason.
Suspicion of violation of the State Narcotics Act. Is that good enough?
What?
Come on. Over against the wall.
Come on, move. I'll check him, Joe.
Well, I see. You sure are making a mistake.
Yeah, we always do.
Oh, it's any mistake. You're plumb out of your mind. That's what you are.
Sure.
Called you on account of Elsie. On account of she got lost.
You're all right. This ain't it.
That's why we wanted you. Help us find her. Didn't have nothing to do with no narcotics.
If your daughter was missing and you reported it, you'd have had plenty of help.
Of course we reported it 3 hours ago. That's when you called them, Slim.
Huh?
When you went down to the drugstore, you said you was going to use the phone.
Oh.
Well, you called them, didn't you?
I guess maybe I forgot.
Forgot? Your own flesh and blood? Your own baby?
What's the difference? She's home, ain't she?
A lot of difference. You give me your word.
Now,
That's all.
look. You found your little girl. You got something else to worry about now.
I sure don't know what you're aiming at, mister.
You don't, huh?
Neither do I. You're accusing me of having something to do with narcotics, and I ain't never been mixed up with dope. I never even touched the stuff, not once.
Well, then we'll start with you.
Well, go right ahead. I ain't got nothing to hide.
What's your name?
Boston, Jerry Boston.
How old are you?
23.
You live around here?
Down the street, 4 houses east.
What do you do for a living, Jerry?
I work in a filling station over on Pico.
You married?
Yeah?
You got any kids?
No, not yet. We're expecting one next month.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think you're going?
I just wanted to see if the youngsters are still
Stay right here. They'll be all right.
Well, you're only talking to Jerry. I don't know
We'll
what.
get around to you soon enough. Now, why don't you sit down and take it easy, lady?
Better do like you said, huh?
Bullying a person in our own home.
Why'd you come over here tonight, Jerry?
I heard about Elsie that she was missing. I wanted to find out they found her.
I see. You came in, you went out, and then you came back in again. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right.
Well?
Well, Kitty wanted me to ask Mrs. Denson here something. Kitty's my wife.
Yeah.
I forgot when I was here first, so I had to come back.
What was it your wife wanted to find out? Come on, Jerry.
Oh, wasn't nothing important, just something about when you're having a baby.
Uh-huh.
You want to step over here now, Jerry?
Huh?
Over here, please. Beside the table.
Sure.
All right, empty your pockets, will you?
Yes, sir.
Take everything out. All right.
That's it.
All right, now turn the pockets inside out. How much money you got there, Jerry?
$20, $25.
You always carry that much cash, too?
Oh, I got paid today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, son, roll up your sleeves.
Do what?
Your sleeves. Come on, roll them up.
All right.
A little higher. Come on.
Okay.
Okay, roll them back down. You and the Dansons pretty good friends, right?
Oh, we're neighbors.
How long you know each other?
4 or 5 months, I guess. However long they've been living here. Hey, what the heck you doing with that lamp?
Why, is the light bother you?
Well, it's kind of bright when you're looking right into it.
Okay, Jerry, put your stuff back in your pocket. Now take a seat someplace.
Hey, wait a minute. You mean I got to stay here?
For the time being, yeah.
Well, look, Kitty will be worried. I only thought I was going to be gone a couple of minutes.
The idea of putting a nice young fellow like Jerry through all this foolishness. Well,
let's see how well you do it now, Denson.
Huh?
Come on, over here.
You already been wrong once, haven't you?
Maybe.
No sense carrying on like this. No sense at all. Now, why don't you fellas just admit you made a mistake and go on your way?
Over here. Come on, quit stalling, will you? Move. Now, go ahead. You empty your pocket. Is that all of it?
You got every little doodad.
Turn them inside out.
Whatever you say.
What do you do for a living?
Well, at the moment, I'm sort of looking around, you might say.
Yeah, I bet so. You got a family, Denson. How you feeding them?
Oh, we manage. We manage pretty good.
How?
Don't you worry none about my children. Ain't going hungry as long as I can work.
You live off your wife, do you?
Now, ain't no way to put it at all. She's just helping out while I'm having a rough spell.
All right, Denson, roll up your sleeves, huh?
Come on, get them up, will you? Frank.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's got more tracks in the Southern Pacific.
Yeah.
Well, look here. I must have scratched myself the other day. You know, I was doing some carpenter work.
How long have you been a hype fella?
Afraid I don't know what you mean.
Quit wasting our time, Denson. Now, how long?
Well, I reckon ain't no point in lying to you, gentlemen. Fact of the matter is, I did do a little chipping once in a while when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that was some years
Those
ago.
marks haven't even started scarring yet.
Hmm?
And from the looks of them, you're building up to a big batch of infections there.
Must be them scratches I was telling you about.
All right, Denson, where is it?
Huh?
The stuff, where'd you stash it?
Come on, Denson. We know you got 30 caps. We're going to find it anyway, so why hold out?
30 cats? A guy like me couldn't afford that much stuff. Now, you ought to have more sense.
What'd you do, give it to your wife?
You ought to say a thing like that. Well, even if I did have a little H, I sure wouldn't want her to get involved. Last person in the world. Now, you can say whatever you got a mind to where I'm concerned. Now, you just leave her out of this.
You were pretty anxious to go into the bedroom a little while ago, Mrs. Denson.
I told you leave her out. Now, if you won't do what I tell
Take
you...
it easy, Denson.
It don't matter what happens to me. You can lock me up, give me the gas chamber, it don't matter. But my wife, she's a fine woman. I won't have you attacking her reputation. You can throw me in jail if you want to, stand me up in front of a firing squad.
Come on, Denson.
But there's no reason to drag her in.
Now. Sit down.
She ain't done nothing. No reason to drag her in.
How about it, Miss Denson?
I just don't know what you're looking for, mister. I swear I don't.
Well, either you've still got it on you, or you've got it in the bedroom. Which is it? Well, you're not giving us any choice. Guess you better put in a call to the office, Frank.
Yeah.
Ask them they'll send a team over to take this joint apart.
Right.
Tell them we're bringing in a couple of suspects. See if they can get a policewoman to stand by so there'll be somebody to search Mrs. Denson when we get there.
All right.
Now, you just wait a minute, mister. Can't arrest us. Not both Slim and me.
Is that right?
What about my youngsters? I won't leave them here alone.
Can you get somebody to stay with them?
Well, I guess Josie will be home before too long.
Who's Josie?
Our oldest girl.
Where's she now?
Went to the movies with her boyfriend. She's full-grown, almost 19.
How soon do you expect her back?
I don't know for sure. Pretty soon, an hour maybe.
We can't wait that long. Looks like we'll have 6 kids in, too.
All right, Joe, I'll tell them downtown.
Yeah, that's Clem. You hear what they're saying?
Yeah.
You just gonna sit there? You're gonna let them drag our youngsters out of bed in the middle of the night?
There's another thing I can do, hon. I tried to tell them. You heard me try.
I'm not gonna have my kids in jail. Not for you, not for nobody.
It ain't right to get a man through his family, mister.
Yeah.
I told you before. Don't make no difference what becomes of me. You can send me away. You can put me in prison the rest of my life. You can give me the gas chamber.
Oh, you all through now?
You see, hon, I tried.
Want to go ahead with the call, Frank?
Yeah.
Probably take 5 or 10 minutes to get the kids dressed, then we'll shove off.
All right.
I ain't gonna stand for it, Slim. I warned you. Those kids ain't going to jail on account of you.
Alice?
He asked me to hide it when we heard Jerry Boston coming up the block.
Well?
I put it inside my dress. All right if I turn around?
Yeah.
I reckon it's just what you want.
You know better than this, Miss Benson.
Huh?
There's no H in here. This is just his layout.
It's what he gave
You're
me.
married to a guy who's been hooked for a long time. You got a pretty good idea what the stuff looks like? We're not going to waste any more time here. Either you give us a cap or you go downtown, all 4 of us.
I'll get him for you.
You just tell us where they are.
Don't listen to him, Alice, honey. Don't listen.
Bedroom.
Which one?
Where the kids are sleeping.
Go on.
Under the pillow. Under Elsie's pillow. That's where he put it.
See the youngest?
Yes, sir. I'd appreciate it if you'd try not to wake her. Did a lot of wandering around when she's lost. She's all tuckered out. I had to tell him, Slim. I had to.
It sure was a lousy trick, mister.
What's that?
Holding them youngsters over her head, making her fret about them just so you could break her down.
Mm-hmm.
Real lousy. You ain't got no kids you own, have you?
No.
Oh, that's how I had it figured. The way you talked, Alice. The way you kept on her. Parent wouldn't act that way.
Mm-hmm.
Never in a million years. Not a real parent, that is.
Well, there's just one thing that I don't understand here, Denson.
What's that?
How would you know? One of the pillows in the children's bedroom, Frank found an envelope which contained 32 caps of heroin. Denson admitted that the 8 belonged to him, but he refused to tell us where he'd acquired it. Jerry Boston denied any knowledge of the drug. We made arrangements for the 2 Denson children to be placed under protective custody of the juvenile division. 10:42 p.m., we took the Densons and Jerry Boston down to the Narcotics Bureau for further questioning. Our investigation revealed that Boston was not implicated in the case, and he was released. 11:17 p.m., while Frank interrogated the Denson woman, I talked to her husband in the adjoining room.
Oh, I never saw the like. You sure are hard to satisfy, mister. I told you the stuff was mine. Now what more do you want?
It just doesn't add up, Denson.
Don't see why not.
Well, you called it back at your place.
What's mean?
Well, where would a hype like you get enough money to buy 32 caps?
Well, I had me a little extra put away. Price was right, so I made a buy.
Oh, now, don't give me that. You're scratching just to keep even with your habits. I'll bet you hook. Now, we've seen the marks on your arms. You want me to guess? 3 caps a day. That about it? All right, Denson. Who's the stuff belong to? Look, fella, you're dead. We can make you on possession, maybe even on sale.
Sale? You must be off your rocker. You know I never sold none of them.
Story we got, you're already to start pushing. For all we know, you started.
Anybody told you that, he's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no pusher, I never have been.
Then what are you doing with 32 caps?
I keep a telling you, mister, they were cheap.
How cheap?
$5 a cap. Now, that's mighty reasonable for them these days.
$165 isn't reasonable. You never saw that much money. All right, who'd you buy them from?
Oh, wouldn't be nobody you know.
Well, why don't you try me?
I don't know myself.
Uh-huh.
Ain't from L.A.
Yeah.
I met him last week, took a trip down south across the border.
Oh, sure you did.
That's how come I made me such a good buy.
You bet. Now, you listen, Denson. We didn't drop in on you tonight just because we were in the neighborhood.
That's so.
We wouldn't have been there if we didn't have information. You know that as well as I do.
Well?
Our info is that you just got those caps tonight.
But I tell you, somebody sure has been spreading a lot of wild stories about me.
They've been on the nose so far. Where are you spending your time these days?
I reckon we covered that before.
Well, I reckon we'll try it again.
I stayed at home mostly.
Were you home yesterday?
Sure was.
Day before?
Yeah, as far as I can remember.
A real homebody, aren't you?
Figure ought to stick pretty close, seeing as how the wife's working.
Well, I'd sure consider it of you. When was the last time you were downtown?
Whereabouts downtown?
Maine, Alameda, anywhere in there.
Afraid I just don't recall.
Last week, maybe?
Oh, no, it wouldn't have been last week. I wasn't feeling rightly. Didn't go no place last week.
Then how'd you get to Mexico?
Guess my memory ain't as good as it used to be. Reckon I'm kind of mixed up.
You sure are.
Right in here, Frank. Sit right over there.
Now, honey, you take it easy. They can't do nothing to you.
She knew where the stuff was. That ties her right into possession.
Told you where to find it. What else do you want?
Who do the caps belong to, Mrs. Denson?
The Sims. They belong to him.
Where'd he get them?
I don't know. Honest, I don't.
Did you have any visitors tonight besides Jerry Boston? Well, come on.
I can't think of nobody. Slim, you've got to do something. You've got to get me out of here.
Ain't a single solitary thing I can do.
I want to know what's happened to my kids.
All right, take it easy, lady. They're in good hands.
I want to know. They ain't never been away from me, not since they was born. They'll be all upset if I'm not there. Can't you understand how I feel?
Yes, we can.
My fault anyway. It's all my fault.
No, hon, you oughtn't talk like that.
Well, it is. I should have left you, Slim. I should have left you 10 years ago when you first started taking dope. We wouldn't have had the other two kids. It'd just be Josie. Bad enough what's happened to her.
Yeah. If you start worrying about Josie.
It's high time somebody worried about her, ain't it? Going out with a married man. Wasn't for you and your dirty, filthy dope, you'd never have met him.
Alice, I'm telling you, shut up.
That's enough out of you, Denton.
Oh, sure. He can't do no wrong as far as you're concerned. God gives you a free bindle. That makes him a fine fella, don't it? Fit company for your daughter.
Who are you talking about, Miss Denton?
Clark Helvey. That's who. He's the one who gives Slim them caps. He's the one. Going out with Josie. First thing you know, she'll be on the stuff, too, just like her father.
Is that who she's with tonight?
Tonight. Last night. Every night. I talked to her till I was blue in the face. Just like her father, that's what she is, just like him.
You know where they went?
They said to the movies. No reason to believe them, though.
You could have given us all this, Denton.
Well, they weren't my caps. I was just keeping them for perk. Till he brought Josie home tonight. Boy, he finds out what's happened, he's sure gonna blow his stack.
Yeah.
Guess maybe I got to shooting off my mouth too much. About having them 32 caps. Made me feel like a big man. Never had that much stuff for my whole life. Told some of the other boys it was mine. It shows you how you can get in trouble from a little exaggerating.
Yeah.
Only had them caps a couple hours before you fellas showed up. Couple of hours. That's all it took. Look at this here mess on me.
No, it took you a little longer than that, Denton.
What do you mean?
10 years. From previous investigations, Frank and I knew that Perk Helvey was involved in the narcotics trade. He'd been arrested several times for possession, but so far he'd always managed to escape conviction. At the time of his last arrest, some 5 months ago, he had been in the company of his wife, Marjorie. When the wife was searched, 3 ounces of heroin were found on her person. Marjorie Helvey had not been known to us as a pusher or a user. But when her husband was questioned, he denied any knowledge of the dope. His wife was sentenced to a term at the Women's State Prison. 12:08 a.m. Frank and I drove back to the Denson residence. The place was deserted. We went inside to wait for Helvey and Josie Denson. 1:16 a.m.
Well, if he wouldn't cop out to save his own wife, he's not going to give us anything.
You know.
Well, it sure is some family.
Well,
can't help feeling sorry for the kids, though.
Well, me too.
Wait a minute. Somebody's out in front there.
Yeah.
How do you want to work it?
Well, let's split them up. I'll talk to the girl. You take him in the other room, see what you can get.
All right.
You want to come in for a sec?
Yeah, that's something I remember.
Guess they're all in bed.
Sure hope the old man didn't shoot too many Mike Camps.
Police officer, you're under arrest. Don't try anything, Ellie.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on here? Where is everybody?
The folks are out.
What'd they do, get themselves pinned?
Let me see your purse.
Sure. Anything you want, help yourself.
Come on, move over here. Keep your hands out of your pockets and stand still.
Okay. It's a good thing I ain't ticklish, huh?
All right. Come on, Helvey.
Huh?
I want to talk to you out the back.
Yeah, sure.
What'd you guys do, draw straws for us? Well, don't look so sad about it, honey. You won.
I'm not so sure of that.
I got the smart one, huh?
Your mother and father have been arrested,
Oh?
and it's not going to go easy on them.
Who cares? The old man's a bum. Always has been. When I was a little girl, he was a lush. Now he's a hype. I don't notice any change.
What about your mother?
What about her?
She's been trying to hold the family together, hasn't she?
Might be better if it fell apart.
I'm going to give it straight to you, young lady. Your folks say that the caps we found belong to your friend Perk Helvey. Is that true?
I wouldn't know.
You'd know if you wanted to. It's going to be their word against his unless you step in.
Include me out.
Maybe you got a beef against your father.
Maybe.
Whatever you give me won't help him much. Might make a difference in your mother's case, though.
Oh, come on. You don't care any more about my folks than I do. You're after Perk.
It was his stuff, wasn't it?
I don't know.
You better think it over.
Why should I?
You don't mean anything to him.
Isn't what he tells me.
He's got a wife, hasn't he?
The way I hear it, she's out of town.
You know who sent her there? Nothing to keep the same thing from happening to you.
It won't.
You ever seen your mother cry, Josie? Well, I did tonight. She wasn't crying for herself either. It was for you and your kid sisters. You got a choice. Who's it going to be? Your mother or that two-bit pusher in there?
Not a very nice way to talk about a friend of mine, is it?
Is that your answer?
I had a big night. I'm kind of tired. You got nothing on me, so I think I'll just toddle off to bed.
You just stay put.
Joe.
Yeah. I'm not sure of you yet. Stay here.
You were through before you ever started.
She doesn't care about her mother or anybody else. It'd be easier to crack Helvey, I think.
No, it was, but he copped out. So the stuff is his. He's got some more in his car.
What turned the key?
I don't know. Maybe he likes this girl. Maybe that's why he held back on his wife to get rid of her.
When you guys get done comparing notes, I'd like to get a little shut-eye.
We're done.
Now you're playing it smart. No point in running into a stone wall, is there?
Your mind's made up, huh?
It's a general idea. You want to pin something on Perk, you better look someplace else.
We don't have to, and we don't need you either.
What?
Neither does your mother. For her sake, I'm glad she doesn't.
What are you trying to hand?
I'm not handing you anything. Perk gave us what we asked for, more than enough.
I don't believe you. Why should he?
Well, you better ask him.
Don't make any sense. I would have backed him up. Whatever he told you, he knows that.
Sure he does.
Crazy jerk. Probably thinks he's doing me a favor, helping out my folks. Some joke, huh?
Yeah. Who's it on?
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 28th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Percy Foster Hilsey entered a plea of guilty and was sentenced for violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. Porter Slim Denson and Josephine Annabelle Denson were tried and convicted of violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. Violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony, is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life. The two young Denson children were placed under 24-hour supervision in a foster home. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Jack Crucian, Joyce McCluskey, Herb Ellis. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a homicide detail. You get a call telling you that the body of a man has been found in a motel room. There's no lead to his true identity. Your job? Check it out.
the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, July 19th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the main jail, and it was 5:27 p.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide.
Hi, how'd it go?
He's willing to make a statement. He copped to the whole thing.
That's going to save us some time.
Yeah. Could have saved a lot more if he'd gone with us last week, though.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Paperwork. Want to give me a hand?
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. How's the family?
Pretty good. Faye thinks he's got appendicitis. Faye thinks he has appendicitis. Woke me up at 2:30 this morning, got a pain in her side. Sure it was appendicitis.
Yeah.
I told her to call a doctor. No, she didn't think it was that bad. Not to call a doctor. Just enough to keep me awake worrying about it. This morning the whole thing's gone, though. No trouble. Says it's probably heartburn.
Why don't you give her a couple of your Pepto pals?
Oh, Joe, that's very funny. Honey.
Homicide Friday. Yeah, that's right. What's that? What's that address? No, we'll be right out. No, not anything. Right, goodbye.
Work?
Work. Made at a motel out on Sepulveda. Found a body in one of the cabins.
Yeah.
Thinks it's a suicide. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the address. It was a modern motel set back from the highway. There were 14 cabins surrounding a swimming pool on the lot. We met with the woman who'd placed the call and the owner of the place.
Right over there, number 8.
Anything been touched in the room?
No, sir. As soon as I saw him, I knew what had happened. I locked the door and called you.
What's his name?
Registered as Tom Rustad in Phoenix.
How long has he been here?
About 10 days. I'd have to check the card to be sure.
Is he alone?
Here, I got the key.
Go ahead. Thanks. You touched the body at all?
No, I should say not. I've worked around motels for a long time, yet and so nothing bothers me. Tell you, though, this almost did, like this scared me half to death.
Yes, ma'am. Better call a lab after him to come out, huh?
Yeah. Be all right if I use the phone in the office?
Well, sure. You go right ahead. It's on the desk, back of the counter.
Thanks.
Thing like this, it isn't going to do the place any good. I hope it can be played down in the papers.
Yes, sir.
This is the first kind of trouble we've had. Suicide. Sure isn't going to help. I wish there was some way to change it.
Well, there is, but that wouldn't help much either.
What do you mean? He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, but he had help. 6:03 p.m., a crew from the crime lab arrived and started their investigation. Apparently, the victim had been killed with a small caliber gun. However, a search of the room failed to turn it up. The coroner's office was notified. They came out to check the body and go through his effects. 6:18 p.m., Frank and I talked with the motel owner in his cabin.
Now, here's the registration card. You can see there where he signed it.
Was he driving a car, do you know?
Oh, I never saw one.
How'd he get here?
You mean when he checked in?
Yeah.
By cab.
Did he tell you why he was in town?
No, he never mentioned it.
Did he work?
I don't know.
When he checked in, did he say how long he'd be staying?
No, he said it might be a week, 10 days.
How about visitors? Do you have any?
I didn't see him.
What about phone calls?
Yeah, I made some.
Do you have a record of them?
No. Usually we do. All the calls go through the board, but he used the phone booth outside.
Okay.
A couple times I was out by the pool at night, you know.
Yes.
I'd be out there and I'd see him in the booth. A couple of times he talked for quite a while.
But you haven't got any idea who he was calling?
No. Dime called, though.
What's that?
Cost him a dime. I heard the bell ring when he dropped the money.
Well, they all do.
You get any mail?
No.
He paid for his room in advance?
Yeah, the first time he gave me the money for a week. And just a few days ago he paid for another week.
How'd he pay?
What do you mean?
Well, by check or cash?
Oh, cash.
What size bills do you remember?
I never saw him use anything smaller than a 50. Sure seemed to have a lot of them. Guess maybe a couple $1,000.
Did he always carry that kind of money with him?
Well, I wouldn't know about that. I guess he must have kept something smaller, though. Isn't everybody can change at 50?
Not everybody.
You gonna let his people know?
What's that?
Well, he must have some people over in Phoenix that should know about him being dead.
Yeah.
Sure don't feel it's my place to tell him.
No, sir, we'll take care of it.
Okay. It's gonna be a shock to him, a guy his age. Probably got a wife and family, not gonna do him any good.
No, it works both ways, doesn't it? Didn't do much for him. In going over the place, the crime lab found the room had been ransacked. Although none of the possessions of the victim had been taken, there was no money in the room and no personal identification could be found. The place was gone over for fingerprints. Several clean sets were lifted, but they belonged to the dead man. No other usable physical evidence was recovered. The coroner's office checked through the victim's luggage. In one of the suitcases, they found an unstamped letter addressed to a June Russell in Reno, Nevada. Its contents explained that the victim expected to be in that city at the end of the month. There was no way of establishing a relationship between the two people. The coroner sealed the motel room, and Frank and I returned to the office. We sent a radiogram to the authorities in Phoenix asking for all information on Tom Rustad. The following morning, Wednesday, June 20th, we got their answer.
There it is, Joe.
Phoenix?
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah, boy. It's going to make it rougher.
Yeah.
I never heard of him. In the hope of getting an identification of the victim, his fingerprint classification and description was sent to George Brereton up at CII Sacramento, FBI headquarters in Washington, and to the police departments in the 7 western states. A close check of his clothing revealed that Tom Rustad's suits were tailor-made and had been made in Reno. We contacted the authorities there and asked them to check on the tailor shops in the area. We also asked that they check out the woman Rustad had written to. While we waited for the answer, we contacted the cab company that had serviced the area around the motel. We asked them to go over their way bills and report all trips from the motel and all trips to the address. 2 hours later, we got the list and started to check out the drivers.
Sure, I remember the guy. A couple more like him, I could buy my own cab company.
What do you mean?
Well, he's a big tipper. Never had anything less than a half a sawbuck. Down at the stand, you have to be a real battler. Who's going to pick him up? You know, the loop?
Yeah. Where do you usually take him?
Well, different places, restaurants, shows, different places.
Did he ever tell you what he was doing in town?
Well, we'd talk. You know, a long drive downtown gets kind of dull. A couple of times he rode in the front seat with me. Guess maybe the company wouldn't like it, but that's the way he wanted it.
What'd you talk about?
Weather, fishing, lots of things.
Yeah?
Mostly about girls, though. He thought he was quite a ladies' man. The way he dressed, all that money he should have been. You ever see any of his friends? Listen, how come you're asking all these questions?
It's police matter.
I knew that when I got the word from the front office. They told me to ride with you all the way. Well, what's the beef? You after Rustad or something?
Investigation.
Oh.
Now what about his friends?
Well, I sure wouldn't want him to find out, blow the whole deal. Probably wouldn't call me anymore.
What's that?
Marcia.
Who?
I don't know her last name. Some bimbo Rustad knew.
Ever meet her?
Not Swamp.
What's that mean?
Why, she was in the cab. You know, I'd pick them up here, drive over to her place, and take the two of them down to a restaurant. So, real beaut. Was a tall, blonde, gorgeous.
Rustad was pretty friendly with her, was he?
Yeah, I guess so. The way he talked, he liked her a lot.
You got her address?
Yeah, I suppose.
Huh?
Well, you guys roust it's going to lead right back to me. Cause a lot of trouble. Tell you, he's a funny guy. Talk about a lot of things, but he don't like to have you ask questions, especially about him.
Yeah.
Got real touchy when I talk about where he was from, what he did for a living.
Yeah.
That's why it's important you don't get me in trouble with him. I can use those tips.
Well, don't count on them anymore.
Huh?
They won't be coming. We got the address of the woman the driver knew as Marcia. We called the office to check on the wires we'd sent. There's been no answer to any of them. 1:30 p.m., we drove over to see the woman. The place was a new apartment building on Wilshire Boulevard. On the mailbox, we found the name Marcia Lovequist and the information that she occupied apartment 14. We went up and rang the bell.
Well, doesn't look like she's home.
Yeah. Let's check with the manager.
All right. Sure pretty cool, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
You know, you ought to get a place down here. It'd be great for you.
It would, huh?
Sure. Nice apartment, pool, get some fun.
Yeah, I got a lot of time for that.
Well, once in a while. It wouldn't cost so much. Be nice. Me and Faith come over and see you and bring the kids.
You bet.
Well, you wouldn't want to be a hog about the pool, would you?
Not me, Frank.
You feel that way, just forget the whole thing.
That's what I was planning.
You just forget it.
Here's the manager.
Can I help you?
Wonder if you could tell us where you can find Miss Lovequist.
Marcy?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, saw her a few minutes ago. Oh, yes, there she is over by the pool. See, with the star hat.
Oh, yeah. Thanks very much.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Miss Lovequist?
Yes?
The police officer'd like to ask you a few questions.
Policeman? I don't know what I could tell you, but go ahead.
Sorry if we sit down?
Sure. Pull up a couple of stools.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go.
Thank you. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How do you do?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what do you want to see me about?
You know a man named Roostead?
Yeah, why?
What can you tell us about him?
You in trouble?
No, we're just checking.
Oh. Well, what do you want to know?
You know where he's from?
You mean his hometown?
That's right.
Someplace up north. I don't think he ever said.
How'd you happen to meet him?
Cocktail party, hotel downtown. There was a convention. My agent got me a job as a hostess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a model. Do some work in TV. Things get a little rough. You take what you can get.
Yeah.
And Tom was there, and we got to talking. Went out to dinner. Quite a bit after that.
Could he tell you what he did for a living?
No, I don't think so. Salesman, I think. Talked like one.
What about this convention? Do you know what it was for?
Oh, dentist. But he didn't have anything to do with that. He was just there.
Oh.
Told me he was sitting at the bar, and one of the guys asked him to come up and have a couple of drinks. That's all. He wasn't a dentist, though.
I see. Do you have any friends here in town, would you know?
Yeah, I don't. Listen, why don't you ask him? He'd go along with you. Nice guy. He'd be able to answer these questions a lot better than me.
Well, we're checking everybody who knew him.
Oh, I see. Well, nice guy. Had a lot of fun.
Where'd you see him last night?
Stayed for yesterday. We had dinner, took a drive. He came by for a nightcap, and then he called a cab and went home.
Did you hear from him yesterday?
No. Didn't really expect to.
Why?
Well, you see, we had kind of a fight. Nothing serious. I didn't figure I'd hear from him till maybe today, you know. We both got over the mad.
Can you tell us what the argument was about?
Well, the same to you, I'd rather not.
It's pretty important that we know.
Well, I guess it can't do any harm. He was just getting too serious, that's all.
Yes?
Too serious. Told him I had to go out of town on a modeling job. Santa Barbara would be gone a couple of days. He got real mad. Said he didn't want me running around like that anymore. Real possessive. I told him he didn't have any right to tell me what to do, that we weren't married, you know?
Yeah.
Well, from there it got loud. Him telling me I wasn't going to Santa Barbara, and me saying he couldn't stop me. He finally called the cab and went home.
What time was that?
Oh, I guess about 3:30. Might have been 4, no later.
All right, thank you very much. If you should think of anything else, we'd appreciate a call.
Sure.
I'll leave you one of our cards.
Ask for either one of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'll tell you who you ought to talk to.
Who's that?
Well, you ought to see him anyway. I haven't heard anything, but Tom might have gone over there.
Who?
This photographer I was going to Santa Barbara with. Tom might have gone over to see him.
Can you give us his address?
Yeah, I've got it upstairs.
Did Roostead know this photographer?
Well, they'd never met. He knew about him, though.
Yeah.
That's why I might be able to tell you something.
No?
Well, Tom thought there was something between us, this other fella and me. Of course, I told him it was silly. It didn't make any difference, though. Real jealous, possessive. Said him and the other fellow were going to tangle someday. I hope not.
Why?
I know the other guy. He'd kill Tom.
We got the name and address of the photographer, and then we drove back to the city hall. We made a check through R&I, but we found no record on him. 3:06 p.m.
Well, looks like we might have a lead.
Yeah, I hope it turns out, don't you? Homicide Friday. Yeah. Yeah, Jack. No, we've been waiting for it. Can you give it to me over the phone? We'll pick up a copy later. Okay, go ahead. What? How do you spell that? Rossfelle. Yeah. All right. As soon as it comes in. Yeah, we'd appreciate a call on it. Right. Okay. Jack Ricketts down in communications.
Yeah?
Got a teletype from Reno.
About Roostead?
Yeah, they got a record on him. Real name's Thomas Roselle.
That's the name on the letter.
Yeah, they ran it down.
Well, they got him.
Been arrested for bunco, grand theft, money, forgery. Haven't been able to make any of them stick. From what they say, a couple of months ago, he went into a new line. They figure that's what he's pitching now.
What's that?
Narcotics.
What about this Roselle woman? She his sister?
No, his wife.
Huh?
Married, got 3 kids.
Her up there and this Marshall woman here, and he's swinging real wide.
Yeah.
They come up with anything more?
Possible motive, maybe.
Yeah.
When Roselle left town, they got a rumble he was coming down here on business. Had 12 ounces of heroin to peddle. called the narcotics division and talked to Captain Walter. He told us they didn't have anything on Roselle, but they'd heard about a new supply of high-grade heroin being moved into town. We told him what we'd found, and then we drove out to talk to the photographer the victim's girlfriend had mentioned.
Well, I'm sorry, fellas. I haven't got any idea what you're talking about.
Have you seen Tom Rustad or Roselle?
Sure, I didn't say I hadn't. But I didn't have anything to do with killing him.
How'd you know he was dead?
It's all over the afternoon papers. Don't you boys read your own publicity?
When did you see him?
Rustad?
Sure.
Night before last.
Monday?
Yeah, I guess so. Really, Tuesday morning.
What time?
Well, about 4:15. Yeah, that's it. 4:15, I remember, because he woke me up. I looked at the clock.
What do you want?
Oh, he had some wild idea there was something going between me and Marcia.
Was there?
Well, I don't see if there's any of your business, but it doesn't matter to me, so I'll tell you. No, there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
She's a model. I'm a photographer. She worked for me. I paid her $25 an hour. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I ain't going to tell you it wouldn't have been nice, but it just didn't happen. I don't believe in romance around the office. Doesn't do anything but cause trouble.
Yeah. What happened when Rustad came in?
Oh, made a lot of accusations. I told him they weren't true. Said he had a filthy mind. Told him to get out.
Did he go?
No, I tried a little muscle. I belted him a couple of times, and that ended it.
Mm-hmm.
Poured him a drink to show him there weren't any hard feelings, and a couple more.
Yeah.
Kicked it around a while, and then he left.
What'd you talk about?
Look, am I a suspect? Is that way on my back?
We're talking to everybody who knew him.
Well, you can cross my name off the list. I belted him, that's all. I didn't shoot him.
All right. Did he call a cab from here when he left?
No, I was going to, and he decided to walk.
Did you see him leave?
Certainly. I locked the door after.
Hmm.
Watched him walk outside from the window there. Must have changed his mind about the cab, though.
What?
Cab. Must have changed his mind.
I thought you said he didn't take one.
I said he didn't call one. The cruiser picked him up. They drove off.
You didn't get the number of the cab, did you?
Well, look, a guy woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Came in here, wanted to start a beef. I finally got rid of him. I'm a 9 to 6 boy. I haven't got time to stand around windows and get cab numbers for you cops. I went back to sleep.
All right, Nestler, anything comes up, give us a call, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Take this card, will you?
Oh, look, I'm sorry if I sounded off. Just that I don't want to get mixed up in it. You can understand that, can't you?
Sure.
No hard feelings, huh?
No.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't like Rustad. I didn't like him an inch, but I didn't hate him. Not enough to kill him.
Somebody did. We contacted the cab company again and asked them to check the way bills from Nestler's address. They came up with one trip on Tuesday morning. The dispatcher gave us the driver's name and told us where we could find him.
Yeah, I remember the guy. Looked like he had a beef with somebody, real cut up.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you take him?
Let me think. It was a hotel downtown.
Remember the name?
I dropped him off at the corner of Margot. He went into a hotel there. See now. The Rolling Arms, I think it was. Yeah, that's the place.
All right, thanks a lot.
I'm glad to help out. Say, this fella, he the same one who was killed yesterday?
That's right.
Well, I sure seen a lot of him. Newspapers, television, a lot of him. Always works that way, don't it?
What do you mean?
After you're dead, you're famous.
Mm-hmm.
When it's too late to enjoy it.
Frank and I drove down to the Roland Arms Hotel. We talked with a clerk who had been on duty Tuesday morning. He remembered a man answering the victim's description and told us he'd inquired about a guest named Wallace Alney. Because of Rustad's insistence, the clerk had put through a call to Alney, and the guest said to let the victim come upstairs. He went on to say that about 30 minutes later, both men had left the hotel together. 9:40 p.m., we went up to Wallace Alney's room.
Here it is, John.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah? Wallace Alney?
That's right.
Police officers, like to talk to you.
Sure, come on in.
This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Hi.
That's all right.
Like a drink? I'm just going to fix myself one.
No, thanks.
Always like a drink before dinner. Sharpens up the old appetite.
Yeah. Mind if we look around?
No, go ahead. You looking for anything special? I might be able to help.
No, it's all right.
Text closet. Well, maybe you better tell me what this is all about, huh?
You know a man named Tom Rustad or Roselle?
Why?
You know him?
Yeah, I met him.
I'm playing Joe. I don't know about the closet.
Well, what about Rustad?
When did you see him last?
I don't know, a few days ago.
Want to pin it down for us?
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
That's the last time you saw him.
Yeah, we had a couple of drinks in the bar at the corner and I haven't seen him since.
We got two people who say you did.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk to them. Leave me alone.
You ever been arrested?
Why?
Have you?
Yeah.
What beef?
I don't
think I'm going to answer that.
You don't have to. We'll find out.
Narco?
Where are you from?
All around.
Name of city.
Frisco, Vegas, KC, all around.
How about Reno?
Yeah, I've been through.
Where you met Rustad?
Look, what are you guys after?
You got the answer to that. Why not save some time?
I got a lot of time.
So wait.
Well, let's be honest with each other, huh?
Go ahead.
Why don't you guys lay out what you got, and I'll tell you how close you are.
That'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it?
Why?
Like playing checkers with yourself.
Nothing I can do, then.
How about the closet?
Look, you make a pinch, I got no choice. If you're wrong, I'll own City Hall.
I don't think we are.
And be my guest.
All right, you're under arrest.
Charge?
Suspicion of murder.
I'll take the closet. Save you the trouble. I killed him.
The search of the closet turned up a driver's license and other identification for Thomas Roselle. We also found a .25 caliber gun, $2,700 in cash, and a quantity of heroin. The suspect was taken to City Hall for questioning. We ran his name through R&I and found that he had several arrests in the state of California for violation of the State Narcotics Act. 12:16 a.m. We got the full story.
We were in business up north.
Reno?
Yeah, we made a lucky buy. He came down here to sell it. I gave him some connections where he could dump it.
Go ahead.
Been down here a couple of days. He sent a wire telling me the merchandise wasn't moving. I knew it was a lie. Right away I knew it. Good stuff like that, it had to be a market. And I got the word.
What do you mean?
Well, a friend of mine, he called, told me about Tom and this Marcia doll, how they were running around.
Yeah.
This guy told me Tom was going great with the H, said he dropped about $7,000 of it already. Sure, as soon as I heard that, I got on my horse, made it down here.
What happened?
Couldn't find out where he was staying, didn't have a trace.
What about the motel?
Well, I didn't know about that. As far as I knew, he was supposed to be here. That's the way we arranged it.
Yeah.
I sent out word I wanted to see him for him to get in touch right away. He did. Tried to give me the same line about how he couldn't sell. There wasn't a market for it. I told him we'd better call the whole deal off. Just give me the stuff back, we call the whole deal off.
Yeah.
Took some talk, and then we headed for his place.
That's the motel?
Yeah.
How'd you get there?
My car.
What happened then?
Oh, when I saw how much he had left, I told him he was lying. I called him a dirty thief, and we had a fight. I shot him.
All right, you willing to give us a statement?
Sure, why not?
I'll get tonight.
His wife know you?
I guess so.
That's too bad. I know her. She's a real nice kid. She's really in love with that Tom. Guess she took it pretty hard.
I wouldn't know.
Well, knowing her, she would. Nice kid like that, and he's running around with another broad. Boy, he was a real bum. The way she loved him and doing a thing like that to her.
Why don't you take another look?
What?
What'd you do to her?
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent. On November 19th, trial was held in Department 99, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Wallace Hamilton Olney was tried and convicted of murder in the second degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. Murder in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Dick Perrin, Helen Cleve, Lillian Biop, Stacey Harris. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.